All right, chaos has ensued. I broke my fast. We can't hear each other on the headsets. Welcome to Calling the Audible.
You broke it.
Can
Literally
you actually not
bro-
hear each other anymore?
What?
Can you hear each other now?
No.
I mean, I hear you.
Yeah, it's okay. No worries.
That's what matters, though, really.
Exactly. All right, welcome into Calling the Audible. Iggy, Mo, Eagle on this penultimate episode as we're getting closer and closer to the road show, which is April 22nd weekend. It is a 2-day extravaganza. And with
Can you hear it now?
Nope. There you go.
Ah.
There you go.
Yeah, I only have to fucking blow the eardrums of our viewers.
Oh.
Blame these two buffoons.
No.
Are you shalom? Anyway, excuse me, as we get closer and closer now to the road show, and we had some games that we're going to recap quickly and preview more in depth this week. Pease will be back next week here in the saddle. Where is he, by the way?
At work.
Okay,
He said he's working late till 11 p.m. so he can have the day off tomorrow and drink.
So essentially, Nats told him, make that crib in the room.
Yeah.
You're getting a weekend.
But I thought last week was Masters weekend.
But Nat's the master of that house.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
that's a good point.
Yeah, it is.
He's no longer. He had to be the master last week because he gave up all master privileges for moving
It's
forward.
give and take, man, in marriage. Something you get used to when you...
I mean, I'm basically already married.
Yeah, but officially, when it becomes official for you.
Doesn't change anything.
Who has the leverage right now, you or your wife?
Who is the what?
Leverage.
Leverage?
Yeah, like who do you think has
I don't
leverage?
believe in leverage in a relationship.
Oh, Mr. Romance over here.
Yeah.
Mr.
Calculated. It's a business transaction.
Exactly, yeah.
Nothing but business there. No pleasure but business. All right, let's dive into it here as we're now into the final 10 days of competition for the road show coming up on April 22nd weekend.
Reminder, registration for spring is open if you
That
haven't
is
got
correct.
your team in.
I was
Or
bringing it up.
as you're eliminated, feel free to register to try again.
Which we've been seeing a lot, right? Like you get eliminated the day after the teams are registered.
We're coming back,
The day
man.
after,
We're
the
coming
hour
back.
after.
Yeah.
Like you go home and right away you're like, this fucking league, I
Gotta go
5
again.
teams I got to sign up for, So
Like
yeah,
everyone's on the bench after the game. Like, hey, we're running this back. We're running this back. All right, let's
yeah,
go.
we're coming back here, baby. We're back, man. We're running it back one more time. But yeah, spring registration is open for you to sign up.
There's only like 2 weeks left to register, by the way.
the window is what time does the window close?
I think the 26th, but we usually keep it open for a few more days.
right.
But still, just to they've been open for 2 weeks ish already.
Yeah.
There's officially another 2 weeks to. Really, we're just pressuring you to round out your team and get that final 8th or 9th guy.
Remember
that you
the
want.
time when we used to have about a month between winter and spring?
Yeah, no longer.
I missed that.
Yeah,
Yes.
Rob's at the NFL. You know how NFL goes Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and now they're gonna have Black Friday games. Rob's like that now. He's like, no, we're gonna go 50 weeks out of 52. We're gonna play FPF. That's how we are now in this world.
I guess it's one of those things where if you're eliminated or your
I'll get the
regular
clock
season
on, by the way.
finished, you actually do have a month to the next one. But if you're us,
We don't. we don't. Last year.
grind and we grind and we grind.
Yeah, because last year when we were trying to chase the lost weeks because of COVID,
That
right?
was horrible.
We legit went from February 19th for 6 months straight of FPF. It was crazy. It was just and then even when we had the time off, we had a week and a half.
It was 8 days, 9 days.
Yeah, it wasn't long. Long. Okay, so just a reminder though, because there's no Lachine in the equation for spring season, Sundays it's Concordia outdoors Sunday mornings, 9 a.m. to noon. Brossard Sunday nights, along with Laval Sunday nights outdoors. Monday it's Stade de Soccer at Papineau, 7 to 11, and Mary Vic on Monday nights as well from 7 to 10. Tuesday we're in Brossard, and Thursday we're outdoors in Laval, and there could be another day involved. Wednesday could be the other option here, but essentially we go from Sunday to Thursday for games. And sign up. You know the whole 9. A,
With,
B, C, D, E, and co-eds. And
with 9 a.m. games now available for Sunday mornings after partying on Saturdays.
I'll be scorekeeping those days. It's 9 a.m.
I don't wake up past 11.
I know
Before
you
11,
don't.
rather.
I know. I love calling Eagle at 10:55. What do you want? Nothing.
It's like my sleep fasting.
Yeah, exactly. He's doing his own fasting in his sleep. All right, let's dive into the awards quickly here. congratulations to everyone who's won. It's on the Instagram page for those who want to know who won for every division out there. So
Yeah, we don't do an actual article anymore.
No, articles are very
The production value sometimes.
Are prehistoric and archaic,
Yeah, we're trying to
according to our Lord and Savior. Not me. You keep
Robert.
calling me like the Savior now. No, I'm not.
Yeah, your second in command. All right. So the big controversy quickly here is the Div 1 division defensive player of the year controversy, which Guillaume Ballon rightfully won, and I had him as my best defender in that division. And the point in contention is what, Mr. Iggy?
No, I'll flip it over to Eagle because you guys got the message. So what was the it was more of a question, just like, hey, what are your thoughts on Guillaume Bellin winning Division 1 Defensive Player of the Year, right?
So the specific question we got, and I'm going to just wait for this thing to finish running with our
Kevin
last women's division
Liberté
here.
of Party Crashers.
There we go. And now we're done with our graphic.
Yeah.
So check out our Instagram post for the entire reel. The feedback we got was specifically in Division 1 why Guillaume Bellin was picked as the Defensive Player of the Year. And so we're going to go take a look at the defensive tab specifically.
Okay, so as you look that up here,
Yeah.
let me make this a quick point. Okay?
Yeah, go for it.
In football, stats, it can be a detriment to you to certain what position you play. So if you're a pass rusher, it's massive because you want to get sacks. Okay, if you're a defensive back, you don't want to have too many tackles because that means you're being targeted often.
So yes and no, right? This always is a back and forth thing when it comes to defense. Are stats good or are stats bad, right? Are people avoiding you on purpose or are you just a playmaker or people picking on you? So the question that was brought up is you can make an argument in Division 1 that the most important stats is interceptions because it takes away possessions from the opposing team. Tackles don't really matter. PDs are cool to burn down, but unless you're burning it on a fourth down, we don't really track that specifically.
I do.
So the question, yes, we do, but do we consider it in our minds? So here's what we're looking at in terms of the stats. So if we sort by interceptions, Guillaume Paquet clearly has the most interceptions out of everyone on this list. Of the other people at 4 INTs, Kevin Liberté has the most tackles and the most PDs of the group.
So what does that say though?
And yet Guillaume Bellin, with the least amount of tackles, the same amount of interceptions as other people, and the potentially lowest, I guess you could say, of PDs, wins the award because of the 3 pick sixes.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's not even close.
it's analytics. It's what you call it, man. Right now, it's the stats is what it is. It's like here. It's like when you do like MVP voting, right? 10 points for first place, whatever. Okay, pick sixes are like first place votes.
I'm going to disagree with you specifically for Division 1 because most offenses will score every drive. So the pick six doesn't actually change the ultimate score of the game because all it's doing is giving the ball back to the offense you just got a score off of instead of giving it to your offense, which would get the score anyways and play clock against them. The only time pick sixes are relevant in a game is if you're behind trying to catch up. If you're ahead,
Who's to say that they weren't in
they
that
were.
case?
I checked the stats, but that's beside the point.
Yes.
So what do you call Guillaume Ballon? A cover corner.
Okay.
Okay,
And that explains why he's undercutting out routes and taking it to the house at short distances.
Kevin Liberté, he's got 43 tackles.
And he has the same amount of picks and 3
But-
more PDs
but-
and double the
And by the
tackles.
way, we don't. So there's another thing you didn't mention here, is that, and we don't prorate stats. But
We don't.
And this is not what I'm about to say something that people are thinking I'm prorating stats. I'm not. He had the same number of interceptions in one less game played. That's not the same as prorating the stats. He had the same number of stats in one less game. That alone, forget the pick sixes. That alone is good enough. I mean, then you have the case of Theo Ojea, and they're doing it in 6 games.
Well, you also have the
I think-
case of
I think-
Paquet basically trading 2 pick sixes for 2 more INTs.
The closest to Guillaume Bellin is Theo Ojea in this conversation.
So this is where the second part of this conversation comes in that when we actually look at our ratings model that actually did the breakdown of the top 10 defenders score-wise in Division 1, Guillaume Bellin isn't even on the list.
Okay, but what is this telling me as a defender, as a score for a defender?
This is saying, based on all the metrics that we consider when it comes to the scoring of your defensive rating,
Yeah.
that Theo Ojea scored the best in Division 1 as a defender at 96.4, followed by this order over here.
Okay, so if we did a poll of Division 1 players, who is the best defender in Division 1 right now? Who wins that?
I don't know.
Guillaume Ballon wins that one. Hands down. You guys, any receiver, they'll tell you that we want to be matched up with the best, which is Guillaume Ballon.
Which, fine, but now you're bringing it outside. The
No,
awards are a stat-based category.
100%. But if you ask the community in
Yeah.
Division
Oh,
1,
yeah. Oh, I don't disagree with you.
and Kevin Liberté, I don't think anyone knows who he is besides his guys from Party Crashers. No disrespect to Kevin, but I don't think anyone in All Stars, I don't think anyone on Kangaroos, I don't think anyone on Double Straddle know who he is. I don't think anyone in Bulldogs know who he is. Everyone knows who Guillaume Ballon is because, again, he plays in multiple teams. But at the end of the day, his stats are of quality when it comes down to it, and he was the best player. I watched a lot of Div 1 games this year, guys, and there's bar none, he was the best player, defensively speaking, here in this division. No question. I didn't even vote.
For the record, I don't get a vote.
No, oh, me neither. I didn't vote.
Who voted, by the way?
There's
There's a
team.
committee, but none of us
Committee
are
of
on it.
computers. Okay. On to the real topic here.
Yeah.
Enough of this controversy here. Let's get to the real stuff here. 35 plus finals happened on Wednesday night.
Let's get to the real stuff, Mo. Come on.
Yeah, Tuesday night. It happened at Hebert, Monster against Glads. I caught a bit of it from my field. I was on field 1 scorekeeping that night of games here. But congrats to Monster, Andy Peterkin. Not the best game in terms of pass completion ratio, but you can sense for Craig O'Brien a relief because the previous night before that, he lost in a division higher than that. But are we surprised by the final score of Monster taking out Frank LeBeau and the Glads?
I'm not surprised by the victory. Why is the margin so wide? There must have been they converted a lot of extra point too. That's what won them the game in such a blowout fashion. Because sure, there was
I was
one
looking.
more.
I'm like, no interceptions,
Yeah, I
no
was
running
saying-
scores, and you're like, oh, wait a
So
minute.
That's 6
Yes.
points off a 2-point conference.
And I
right?
mean, that's what
no,
I
no,
saw.
No, Mo, read it again.
Yeah.
There's 8
Oh,
points off
I
of 2
sorry,
points
sorry.
and 2.
Yeah,
they got
apologize.
10 whole points off of EPs.
Oh,
That's
my.
crazy.
They basically
That's-
converted every single touchdown
Yeah.
because they went 6 for 6.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Including
yeah,
4
yeah.
for 4 on 2
That's-
points.
Yeah, that's nuts. I'm not surprised that they won. I'm not even surprised by the stat line of Andy Peterkin after having watched him play a game or two in 35 plus. 10 of 20, yeah, they're bombs. Like he goes deep often. And if he's not, and then that pushes the defense a little further, he takes off for those runs. He got 3 for 30 yards. So he's averaging a first down.
Yeah.
So he was I'm not surprised that he was either chucking it deep or moving the chains with his legs. Again, congratulations to Monster. It was an effective approach against Glads. The Glads couldn't score on their extra points, and that was one of the reasons why maybe there was just too much to catch up here, and they couldn't convert. I'm wondering if they went for an onside kick. They did on the last play of the game. Didn't convert, and that was the game.
Yeah, I mean, look, this Monster team is loaded with talent. You think about Paul Lapierre, you think about Craig O'Brien, Tony Lala, Mike Smith, Andrew Blevins, who
Blevins.
tore the divider from field 2 to field 3.
I am not surprised
Yeah, I know,
about that.
it's one of
Wow,
those,
he's
but
a monster. He's
definitely a
literally-
monster, but well earned by them, and congrats on them on winning their division for 35 plus. On to Co-Ed 1. Okay, so a lot to digest from Co-Ed 1, given that they had played way back on Sunday. So that you guys did the recap for that, so we can preview.
Way
didn't. We did
back on
not.
Sunday.
Hold on,
Wait.
you guys didn't recap the game on last Friday in the Friday morning breakfast?
Yeah. 1,
No.
2, co-ed, 1, 2, 3 next week.
Oh, okay, fair enough then.
We did not do it.
Okay.
It was a
Because we
3-hour
didn't
show.
need to do it.
It was a
and
3
also, we had to try and get the show done quickly, of which the message was not received clearly.
You left, okay? You abandoned.
I did not leave.
Okay,
We
all right,
were
all right,
an hour
kids.
late.
Relax, kids. Relax.
And I had shit to do on my day off.
Okay, let's just do a quick recap of the 4 quarterfinal matchups here. Funny Club has been hot. They have now
Fight Club.
Funny
Funny
Club.
Club.
Oh,
They've
We
run.
don't
through,
talk about Fight Club.
No, they've run through the gauntlet now. They're in the final
It's like Bruno.
4. Fast Not Furious is also in. Northern Braves got in because the Girl Scouts forfeit, and Free Smoke beating the Power Rangers rather easily. Anything that surprised you from the quarterfinal matchups of the 4? Was there a final score that's like, whoa, that's surprising?
Not surprising. I was disappointed with the Girl Scouts forfeiting. They had asked to move their playoff game and play it on the Saturday to beat the Justice League, only to then call a forfeit the day after. A little disappointed there.
Wait. So we didn't move the schedule officially on the sheet?
Correct.
Okay, that's why.
Yes. That's why you don't see it there. Anything else? No, not really. It's not that I'm not surprised that Fast and Not Furious won the game, but in the fashion that they did, a 12-point victory, really not even. Well, yeah, it would have been brought to the 5 plays, but like not really close. Funny Club 2 Game of the Week. There was something about Funny Club that Kiss My Outlaws couldn't beat.
So what was it that they couldn't beat? Like,
if you look at the game from Game of the Week, AJ Gomes, we love him, but he got beat deep twice.
yeah.
Especially once on 4th down. There was a missed interception by Sanders Armand that literally the ball looks like he's being targeted for the ball, and he just drops it. It was like it's those balls that are just so easy. They're so slowly coming in. And he just made a mental mistake, and on 4th down, Vincent Morissette capitalized. And it was just that there was just time and time again not being able to properly defend the second quarterback was another thing.
Right.
That they had played the week before, the Saturday before, final game of the regular season, and both times Funny Club just had the edge over Kiss My Outlaws.
Okay, so now to the semifinals. We got Northern Braves Funny Club, and we have Fast Not Furious Free Smoke that will play this Sunday in Lachine on my field, by the way. Amazing.
Cool.
So you get to see firsthand. Of the 2 games left now, Iggs, who has a chance to pull off the upset?
Maybe the Funny Club, right? Because a lot of their Braves guys are they're
Flag
playing
sack guys.
Flagmon. Right? Yes. Funny. No, France. Who are you thinking of? Flagmon Sac.
Sorry, I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Alex Nadeau Pugh's being one of them.
Sure. I haven't seen him. I'm not sure he's.
Francois Rochelot. I mean, they're all playoff eligible, by the way.
Oh, okay. Because
You know.
I'm not sure they fit though. If the Will Tratiers,
Yeah.
JD
And then
JD Chevalier,
and all
if
these
they're
guys.
all there. But I don't know how you feel. I'm interested in watching it just because they're so familiar with the Joe Mayer playbook.
Well, they lost by 4 to Northern Braves.
Right.
Back
How
in-
long ago?
March 18th.
Okay, so not too long
Less
ago,
than
but
a month ago.
that's close.
Yeah.
That's a close game. So I mean, I expect much of the same here. I expect another close game, and I think they could pull off the upset. I'm still giving 66% odds though for Northern Braves to come away.
Yeah, I think the Braves will be the favorites because you look at their team and how they're loaded themselves. I mean, the Braves might ultimately win 2, maybe 3 championships this roadshow weekend coming up.
Potentially,
in 10
yeah.
days. And this is going to be a game that's going to go well past the over. Whatever the line, you can put the line at 65, and it'll be over that. You can put the line,
yeah.
no, you know what? I apologize. You can put the line at 75.
That's close.
48-44 last game. That
Yeah.
was 92 points produced. I think it's going to be well over that number, and I think it might come down to extra points and who can hit those extra points, and that's going to be key. And Joe Mayo is he's cerebral in how he sees it. Like quarterbacks always think 2 plays in advance. Okay, if I do this, I'll go over here. He's thinking 2 series in advance. He goes, okay, I got 10 minutes left. I'm down by 1. Okay, if I hit now, he's
We gotta
always
go. We
working.
gotta go quick or drain the clock.
Clock management, right? And I think that's what was going to come down to is how Joe Mario sees it, and can Funny Club steal a possession or 2 from him? If they can't do that, Braves have a great chance to win this football game.
That, and if they can't stop Laurent Beauchamp, receiver of the year in Co-Ed 1, they're
right.
done. They're done.
Right.
Because they don't have the female athletes to man up with Laurent. She's
Right.
going to burn them. So they're probably, and I spoke about this with Phil Farran during the regular season. Put one of your guys on her. Shut her down.
Yeah, she's a really good player.
She's going to burn you otherwise. So they have to game plan around her, I believe.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so now in that case, we got Fast Not Furious and Free Smoke. And now the Free Smoke that I see in the men's or the adult division,
Yeah.
Whatever. But in this division, they are phenomenal. Jimmy Lee Janvier, for whatever reason, has done remarkably well. And now he goes up against a very good Fast Not Furious team. Are we buying the odds here for them to maybe make this competitive and perhaps come away with a victory if they can pull it off, maybe the last 5 plays for that matter?
So speaking of the men's division for like 2 seconds, Jimmy Lee Janvier going against Mangoose and James Drysdale, who's on that team, picked him off here. I don't like that matchup here again. They're gonna revisit for a second time in
They
Code
lost by
1.
3 to Fast Not Furious.
Yeah, like the only way Free Smoke wins this game if it's high scoring. If it's a 34-28 type of game where both teams have thrown interceptions, advantage Fast and Not Furious. Advantage Fast and Not Furious even if it's high scoring.
Right.
It's their only way though for Free Smoke to win this game is if it's a 60-56 kind of game.
I'm going to use a baseball analogy to
Go for
describe
it.
Jimmy Lee Janvier. He's got those strikes.
Yeah.
He
Or
can't
home
throw
runs.
balls. Like he can't throw wild pitches. Like you know, in baseball when you have that pitcher that just throws
Yeah.
junk. He can't do that against Fast Not Furious because they'll eat him alive and spit him out and eat him again.
Can he throw a home run though?
He can throw a home run. He can hit a home
Okay,
run.
interesting.
Yeah,
So we're
he can-
blending them in the opposite way.
Yeah, he can hit a home run.
Yeah.
But the question is, that, he's not a power thrower, but he's a guy that's a rhythm thrower, and he's got to get a rhythm, and he's got to make sure he's going to play clean. If he plays clean, it gives them a chance to win this football game. But if he doesn't do that, Fast Not Furious, I call them false kings.
Mm-hmm.
I did call them false kings, but here we are in the Final Four, and they're about to punch their passports to the finals if they somehow glitch up, which I don't think they will in this game here. So I think right now, when you think about it in the Final Four, Braves, Fast Not Furious, I think both will be heavy favorites, but I think you're right. The Fun Club has the better of the two quote-unquote underdogs to pull off the win in the Final Four. All right, so on to Co-Ed 2. To recap the quarterfinals that we had on April 2nd, even though we are now April 13th.
Yeah. April 2nd and April 10th, it was wrapped up with Fireball and IG team as well.
Yeah, so...
Would you say it's Great Balls of Fire?
Sure.
Yeah, for sure. Okay,
How come I made that joke all season, by the way?
I
Why
can't
did it
believe-
only dawn on me now?
Because you've been focused, Eagle.
No, if anything, I'm less focused.
Yes,
I
exactly.
know. You're like autopilot right now, Eagles. All right, so surprising that the Badgers and IG team won their games against Fit Squad and Fireball.
Yeah, that was really the story on that Sunday was and Pease touched on it more in Division 3 with Stoics, but Chris Rive and his playoff magic that he just he's different. He's different in the playoffs. He knocked out Fighting Tigers in overtime and then goes at 3:00 and then at 5:00 takes down the number 1 seed Fit Squad. Not only beats them 29-26, it's a team that had annihilated them 1 week before. I think the score here, if I just scroll down, they lost to Fit Squad 47-6 on March 26th, 1 week before. You lose by 41 points, and you're going into that game with, I think, little confidence.
Right.
But it's Chris Rive playoff football, and he's different, and he's showing it again, and we'll talk about it in Division 3, but again, he's just knocking down every pillar that's thrown in front of him.
Yeah, like C-Riv is a big game player, man, in those tight contests, and he's shown his worth for Badgers, right? I mean, they brought him in because they felt that the quarterback play wasn't there, and he's got a report of Cesar Garcia Ruiz, or is it Ruiz Garcia? I apologize.
Cesar Garcia Diaz.
I apologize for that, and he's having a lot of fun with them, and I think that's a massive win for them. They probably have the momentum coming into the game against Benchwarmers, which we'll get to momentarily here.
Yeah.
But you look at the other games, Kiss My End Zone, they beat Flashbang by 5. And you look
On a
at
Hail
Benchwarmers-
Mary.
Yeah, on a Hail Mary, which I heard you scream loud and proud when I was like, this stupid loser is
I couldn't
screaming.
believe it. I just couldn't believe it.
Don't worry. I heard you screaming like, this idiot's screaming like he just won a championship, but it's like April 2nd. This idiot.
It's April 2nd, but Kiss My End Zone had a 5% chance, and that's being generous. 5% chance of winning this game.
Who gave the 5% chance?
No. With given at the end of the game, there was three plays left to score, and that's like a 5% chance of winning the game.
According to
With 3 plays remaining, that's odds are we're gonna lose that game. And on a Hail Mary, I'm just throwing it into the end zone, and the answer was prayer.
I was hoping you'd lose that game. Maybe one last trophy.
The
for
answer
you.
was prayer. The prayer was answered. I'm
Yeah,
mixing up my emotions here.
Yeah, Jesus has risen when you threw that ball in the end zone.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I'm just throwing it in the air, in the end zone, and hoping someone catches it. And Will with the awareness, the 99 Madden awareness rating, instead of attacking the ball, goes to the back line, make sure he looks at the line to make sure not to step out of bounds and be an illegal participant in the play. One hands it, tips it to himself to grab the ball, get one knee or both knees down, but really all you need is one knee to be that counts as 2 feet.
Yeah.
And he grabs the ball and gets a game-winning touchdown. So yeah, that was an awesome one as well.
All right.
I guess willpower used all his luck for you and not for Peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. He was tapped out. He had no power in his
Yeah.
resources. Okay, bench warmers
He couldn't
win.
charge it because the electricity went out.
Exactly. So bench warmers win and IG team win. And now we're to the final four. We got Badgers, bench warmers, Kiss My End Zone, IG team. Now, bench warmers, it fascinates me because of the Nick Rizzo Gomes situation. Right?
Yep.
He's not there. Do we go with the momentum angle of Badgers? I know, look, it's a long layoff from April 2nd to the 15th. That's 2 weeks. But C-Riv has played in between
Yep.
that, so he's still in rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
Along with some of his teammates. So are we using the underdog as being the favorites in this football game?
I think so. I think the Badgers are slight favorites in this game. Now, does that slight favorite just going up against two teams get neutralized by the fact that bench warmers are probably going to start on defense to begin the game and get the ball back in the second half? Maybe. Bench warmers, we're even I think a slight underdog against deep balls, but
Right.
look how they performed, right? 32-13 victory. Gab Wiseman's a smart quarterback. While his arm might be a little limited in terms of the strength that he can throw deep,
How healthy is he though?
we're not sure, right?
Exactly.
He's snapping for Bruins now, opting to go with Chris Vero at quarterback. But they've got something with both teams have something to prove here.
Yeah.
They both kind of think they're being called the underdogs, but want to show something a little more. That's
Right.
what makes this one a really interesting matchup.
Yeah, I think the fascination is that look, Wiseman's a really good player, but I think it's neutralized by the fact that he might be banged up, and if he is, Chris Uve has the advantage of the quarterback.
Because they match up cerebrally, they match up pretty well.
Yeah.
But if you're giving now the arm power of pretty much full strength to Chris Rive, the advantage sways
1,000%.
towards Badgers.
100%. So, and I think both are smart with the ball in their hands. I think this might be a low-scoring game. This might be high 20s.
Okay.
High 20s. I think both will consume clock and
Yeah, I could see it.
and use plays. They're not going to go out there and sling it 40 bombs, and they're not going to do that. Chris Rive might do it, once or twice, but I don't think Gab Wiseman will do that in this football game.
Yeah. It'll be slow and methodical drives upfield,
it's
2 scores per half. I
like
see
an
it.
8-minute office like your office as you play IG team.
Perhaps.
So now, if I am the IG team, it's tough because I know you're involved in the game directly here.
Yeah.
But what weaknesses can they look at from your team, if there is any?
That's a good question because there's being a neutral observer, which I'm not. There's little weaknesses on Kiss My End Zone. The recruiting on the girl side and the male side has put together. While they're not elite, the team has gelled together in a way that doesn't allow a team to expose Kiss My End Zone. Although you bring in Jeans the Alexis, how do you think such a mobile quarterback? I think this is going to be one of the keys to the game is Jeans the Alexis versus Zachary Albertskill. What do you think?
Well, actually, that's not the match I'm looking at.
Okay.
I'm looking at if they go with him rushing you. Jerry Bobiff is a guy that he rushes in Div 1 with Kangaroos.
Right.
He's got a lot of speed. He may not get to the quarterback yet. He's got 1 sack to his name. He's got 3 PDs. He's the fascination in this game.
Okay.
We know about Zach Albergills. We know what he is. Okay, he's Jared Odrick.
Right, but can he stop Jeans the Alexis?
Well, that's going to be the key, right? Like, can his size keep up with the cheetah-like speed of Jins Lee in this matchup? But I'm thinking about Jerry Bobiff and how he will play you.
Okay.
Because he's a guy that no one talks about in
Right.
FPF, and he's underrated, and he can definitely be influenced in this football game. And when you think about this IG team, they, I believe, had, close to 20 INTs. I think they were around the high teens, like 18, 16,
Okay.
17, 18 INTs. So if they can force you to make a bad throw, and I have the film on you, by the way. I have that screenshot of you throwing an INT, by the way. Then yes, I think that can happen. I think that can happen for sure. But it's going to be them being disciplined, playing your disciplined offense. Can they remain focused and not give up too much in their defensive front and allow you to kind of be surgical and try to open up their heart for a victory?
Also, reminder: power has been restored, so Will's going to be at full form.
With
Unlucky.
unlucky for
He may
PZ.
or may not be there.
Unlucky for Peasy, but lucky for Iggy. So yeah, I think it's the pass rushers in this game more than anything else.
Definitely.
And the like underrated is that the IG team has the nose for the football. They have a GPS to find the football with ease, and if they can get a turnover, maybe two, if they're lucky, and they convert for points, that could be the difference in this football game. All right, on to Co-Ed 3. Again, since you guys didn't cover it last week in the 4-hour show.
3-hour show.
I didn't do it.
I was told 4 hours.
3.
It was
Check
long.
the tape. Thanks for watching, Mo.
I had no power.
Subscribe.
no
Do all the
power.
things to be connected,
Of
Mo.
course. Okay, so quarterfinals, Scott's Tots and Canicule win. Are we surprised by the two winners? Scott's Tots, I called them out at the halfway point, thinking they were not going to be good, and I was going to swipe left on them, and they have swiped left on me, and now here they are in the final four. They beat Packer by 11, and Canicule win by 15 over La Secte, which has been very
Downhill
polarizing.
since the midway point of the
where
season.
They started 4-0 and polarizing. So are we surprised by the winners of the quarterfinals?
Not necessarily. Michael Scott Stotts lost to Paquer very early on in the season. I was surprised by that outcome early on in the season, of course. I think as they grew along, as Kenny Boutillier, he obviously runs a bit more than the traditional quarterback. I thought that as he progressed through the season, I thought that this was a team in Paquer that he could get a victory in, and this is more of the scoreline that I expected, 25-14 for Scott Stott. So I'm not too surprised there.
Right.
For La Secte, it sucks, man. We were hailing and glorifying them in Co-Ed 3, top of the division at the midway point. I felt it. I felt the slide going down. They just couldn't stop that snowball. And here we're in April with 26-degree weather. It melted. It absolutely melted. And Canicule, there was a bit of controversy with someone there, not there, games played, but all that was rectified. And now we have our semifinal matchup.
So we got Bustan against Michael Scott Stotts and Sneaky Snakes against Canicule. Do you believe this could be two romps in the semifinals for both games?
No, not for both. Maybe the half and half game, especially it appears that Michael Scott Stotts may not be able to field a full roster of 6.
Right.
Looks like they're going to be able to at least man or play 5 players.
Right.
So that one already looks like, it could be, 35 to X score. The Sneaky Snakes Canicule game, that one's going to be close. That one could come to an overtime game.
Right.
If not a final possession to either score and win, or defense stops and wins the game.
So how does Canicule win this game then? If it's going to come out to an overtime session, obviously you got to score more points. But is there something you have to look at that they can target that can perhaps give them the edge over Sneaky Snakes? And they beat them by 4 way back in week 2 in January. So it'll be nearly 3 months since the last rendezvous with these two teams.
Yeah, the key to success for Canicule has been Athena Ryan completing constantly, and she's very much that rhythm quarterback, like you said, with Jimmy Lee Janvier. In her initial playoff game, 8 of 22, that game kind of got away from her.
Yeah.
In terms of completing easier passes and getting involved in the game. In that sense, still led to a victory from her defense. Ezekiel Tiede, 3 interceptions, 1 pick 6. He was a difference maker. Their opponent, Sneaky Snakes, if they make risky throws, they have to watch out for Ezekiel making plays. He's a playmaker out there for them. Those are the two keys. Athena Ryan completing passes, driving the field methodically, and Ezekiel being a difference maker on the DB line.
Well, it's going to be fascinating to see how that plays out, right? I mean, I think it's one turnover that I think makes a difference in this football game. And if that happens for Kenny Goulet, then all bets are off.
Yep.
I think it puts more angst in sneaky snakes.
Perhaps.
And that's going to be key. And by the way, they beat them twice, Kenny Goulet, against sneaky snakes. So they do know how to play them. So this might be a closer affair. And if it ends up being Bustin against one of these two teams, because with Michael Scott's roster situation right now, which we don't know, hopefully we get that confirmed well before the weekend, then yeah, it's going to be a game that could come down to that turnover being in favor for Kenny Goulet to have the chance to beat Sneaky Snakes again and go into Brossard on Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. Through the women's one we go. Again, same thing. They played April 2nd. I'll make a quick point. Montréal, told you, can't score points, can't win.
So we knew this, though, that FPF is an offensive
but
game.
Is blinders by some who, Montréal can play tough defense. I go, you're not going to win.
So the only reason why defense could be a stronger impact here is the women's rules, right? 4 downs to the half, 4 downs to the end zone. Defense could make it does make more of an impact than in the regular 10 yards for a first down in regular FPF rules. So I see where the argument came from, but ultimately flag in general is a game for the offense.
100%, man.
So,
it's tailored for that,
So especially come playoff time where you're now playing against more adept offenses, more complex offenses, and just better executing offenses, you got to keep up with the points.
Yep. For the list, one big as Blue Pood, and then Bruce beat Bees. I'm not surprised by those games. We were talking about Fleur de Lis being the team to watch out for. They were kind of getting momentum. They found the rhythm, and by the halfway point in the season, and here they are in the Final Four. So Le Bleu beat Fleur de Lis by 14, and Bruce beat Vortex by 6. Funny how Peace is not here to take his beatings from me.
This we did somewhat debate. So I took the Brute's position. I took your Mode Lacasse position. So we
you want to know the message you sent me? Hold on here.
So we're gonna stop the show because Mo Khan here is gonna
the Mode and Mo connection over here. That's what we should be called.
So
because I'd asked her back in January, hey, I know you're gonna play in the finals, but if you're not gonna be in the finals, would you like to be part of the road show? And she said, yeah, if I'm not there, yeah. So she wrote, I said, hey, I got. Well, hold on here. My thing's not. Hold on here.
You're not ready, not prepared.
I'm prepared here. Okay, here we go. Okay. Sorry, finals obrigado. LOL. I won't be able to chill with you and the comment on the game. Hope you find someone who will cheer for the same team as you. Ha ha ha. I go, that's perfectly fine with me. I can hold this against Peas. Congrats to make it to the finals. Thank you. Yeah, I need to make up for the super loss in the Winter Cup to Vortex. But she goes, she appreciates the support, and at the end of the day, it wasn't the best game from her against Vortex.
Yeah.
But a win's a win, and she's looking forward to playing the finals, and they will play Le Bleu. So now we get Le Bleu winning their game rather easily, Brutes winning their game. Right now, I know we'll preview the finals next weekend.
Yes.
They're not playing this week. But when you look at these two teams here, I think we have the two best teams who are playing the finals.
I think so as well. But in that Brutes Vortex game, Mo, and we saw this in that Fall Cup final, Brutes were up 2 scores. Vortex get their touchdown that they need. And was it about 6 or 7 plays, 5 plays remaining, Maud Lacasse throws a pick.
That's right.
To Virginie Aubu-Menard, giving Vortex a chance to get back into the game and tie the game up. And if it's not for a sack by Maggie Gervais for an 11-yard loss, which was huge, really set them back, Vortex, I think, had a chance to really come back in this game and at least force it to go into overtime.
Yeah.
But that's all to come back to. That's the second time that Maud Lacasse, in a pressure-filled situation, throws an interception late in the game, which, again, to Vortex, which puts them the Brutes in a tough position when they should be in a comfortable position.
She
What
was toying with them.
What?
She was toying with them.
She was toying with them.
Toying with
I mean, we did see that slightly in on our Instagram page. The smash out from Grand 2.0 herself, Laurence Pombriand. Look, I remember seeing it against the Les Loups in the fall regular seasons. It looked easy there. It looked easy again, even against a very talented Vortex crew.
I think this is a massive win for Brutes over Vortex. It's a psychological win for them.
Yes. Yeah, I'll give you that.
To
Yeah,
overcome
for sure.
that. Yeah, look, Moat said it was my best game.
Right.
It wasn't her best game.
Right, that's why I bring it
That's
up.
okay. You have that now, and she'll have time for the next one, which will be on Sunday, April 23rd, 3 p.m. against a very good Les Bleus team, and we can't discount what Les Bleus are as a football team. They are a phenomenal team to watch. They
Machines.
have so much talent to work with, and I'm not going to discount these guys at all because I think Les Bleus will make it very tough for Brutes in this football game.
Absolutely.
And they are probably the favorites by 3-4.5 points.
I think so. Yeah. If there was a line on it, yeah, I think 3 to 4 points is a pretty accurate line.
And can the Brutes stop the high flying offense attack? You got Lagacé, Bastien, Racine, Baudouin. You look at Renault.
So many weapons there. So many weapons.
Coup de marche, Genius. All those are double digit pass catchers.
Yep.
Who do you stop? Who do you contain? It's going to be a game of how does this Brutes team counter this Les Bleus team? Because you think about it during the regular season, when they played each other, they lost by, I believe it was 22 points, 32 points, whatever it was. It was one of those bad games for them.
Right.
But nonetheless, though, I believe, hold on here, my thing is slowing down here. I was trying to open up the screen for the game here.
For Les Bleus, huh?
The game, this box score with that game here.
44-12.
Yeah, 44-12. Lacasse didn't have a good game. So how does Mo Lacasse rebound and reprogram her brain to say, okay, how do I not end up being how it was against Les Bleus, and this ends up being a blowout in the first half, and then in the second half we couldn't score any points.
Yeah, but tune in next week. We'll go in depth on how Mo Lacasse will rebound.
Absolutely. On to the women's too. So divisional playoffs. Les Bleus, Wildcats win, Steelers wins, and Le Pit win. Okay, so we move on to the quarterfinals. This is where we're going to focus on the quarterfinals here on Monday.
Sure. Which we did cover.
Okay,
last week.
so
what we didn't cover was the semifinals on Monday, April 10th.
Perfect. So we'll cover semifinals. I apologize. For
Yeah.
that. Okay.
No, you weren't here and you don't listen to the
I
show.
don't listen to the show because I know power.
Because you're the biggest fan of us.
I am.
Yeah.
I didn't know who was here. I was confused by who was here, who wasn't here. Eagle
and
wasn't
when
here.
and at what time.
Yeah, like 10 a.m. Start time. Breakfast at Wimbledon over here. Okay, so Carrie Babes wax Wildcats, and Les Hibou beat Lixet by big score 26 here. More surprised by which scoreline?
So if I knew that the Wildcats had their entire roster, I would have said Carababes beating them 31-6 would have been more surprising. But Wildcats were missing their quarterback in this one.
Okay.
So that makes a huge difference. So and already to put up 6 points with your backup quarterback and not someone who you've been practicing with all season is actually pretty decent to put up a touchdown.
Right.
That said, Les Hibou 32-6 over Lynxet. That's serious because Lynxet were the number 2 seed by season's end, and I had seen them on the previous Monday. This is what I worried is that if they in this game against Les Hibou, they targeted Constance Milat a little too much. Force the ball to her instead of going to the other options, Enya Prou, Joël Deschênes. They had big games on Monday night, and 5 of 12, while 83 yards and 1 touchdown is great. That means you connected maybe twice for some deep balls, but getting the other receivers involved, which again they did with Enya catching 6, Joël catching Enya catching 7 passes, Joël catching 6. They just weren't able to evade tackles from Leibu to really drive the field and keep sustained drives alive.
Right.
And Salamo Damel throwing 3 interceptions is just not the type of football that I saw on Monday night against I believe it wasn't Steelers. That was the first game. Their game was against Phoenix. Nope. Again, I'm wrong on that. Linkset beat Le Petit Miette. Sorry about that. Apologies. Where their defense really show up to play, only allowing 7. In this one, they just couldn't get a stop against Leibu and Emile Adam. She torched them. 19 of 29, 240 yards, 5 touchdowns. That was consistently going downfield, driving, and punching it in once they were in the red zone.
Yeah, and look, it's Carababes, well earned. Leibu, well earned. I think they played really good football, and I think it's unfortunate with the injuries to Wildcats. And
it wasn't an injury. I think they were just out of town for that Easter Monday,
right? So it sucks for them. But look, we'll talk about it next week with Carababes against Leibu. But that should be a fascinating, compelling game with those two teams going at it at that time. All right, on to Division 6. So a lot to assess here. We'll do a quick recap here. We're not going to go in depth for the recap that was because there's so many games to recap. We'll do more of the preview of the quarterfinals that we have left here because it's 5 rounds of this godforsaken division of
with wild cards.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But the ultimate wild card, Mokon, and the ultimate Cinderella story here from Division 6 has to be the Slippery Slopes. Taking down, right? They're the 20th seed in Division 6, taking down the 13th seed Dewey Molas.
Yeah, that was a terrible game for Dewey Molas.
18
like
yeah, they it shows on the score, right? Putting up 0 points. And then this past Wednesday, taking down the number 1 seed Habibis, the 10-0, maybe facing no adversity all season or very little adversity. And when push came to shove, and you'll give us some context here.
Yeah.
They faltered or withered, or what happened here?
Yeah. So, Slopes were up, and BB scored. They're down by 1, and I think it was down to like 5 plays, and because my field just finished, and we're watching 2 games at once.
Right.
We were watching the Pigeons Maccabees game at the same time, and so the thing was Slopes didn't know how the onside kick rule works, right?
Sounds like them, yeah.
And so the BBs hit it. They get the ball at midfield, and
so back up. So Habibis just scored a touchdown to go up by 1.
No, they're down by 1.
Oh, they're down by 1. So forcing them really to go for the onside kick.
Exactly.
They go for the onside kick. There's 5 plays remaining.
Yeah, something like that, and they hit
it. They convert.
Yep.
And now let's say there's 5 plays remaining,
and they got stopped.
And they got stopped.
Yeah. So Slopes, their offense is not sexy. Their defense is. Ardo Kachikian, who played for Concordia, former CFL player. I think he won a Great Cup, by the way. Can you look that up?
Former CFL player.
Yeah, can you look it up for me, Ardo Kachikian?
Yes, you produce the show.
Producer, please. Do you mind
Hello?
Please.
Can you hear us?
I'm fasting.
I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. I think he might have won a Great Cup with Ottawa. Anyway, so
what?
Really? Yeah, I think he won a Great Cup with Ottawa. So anyway, 2016. Their defense is going to be key for them at this point, right? And that's what's won them that game. And when you look at it right now, for the teams who are now in the quarterfinals, and Habib and Maccabees got very lucky. Pigeons could have beat them, couldn't figure it out in overtime how to beat them, and they were literally jaws of defeat at the mercy of Pigeons. Couldn't do so in that situation. But now you look at the quarterfinal matchups. X-Men Wildhogs, LaSalle Warrior Midgets against Maccabees, which I think is the best game of the 4. Dak to the Future Fiddlers, Baby Rays, Slippery Slopes.
These are actually all very good matchups. But
I think the Rays are going to wreck Slopes.
Yeah, probably by sheer experience.
Yeah, I just don't think Slopes have that offensive acumen, the bandwidth to keep up with Baby Rays.
Although I'm surprised Baby Rays only put up 24 against No Fly Zone.
But that's okay though. That's playoffs, man. Like you're not gonna win pretty all the time. You're gonna win ugly.
Slippery Slopes put up 30.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You're not gonna win pretty though. Like you're gonna win ugly. You're gonna win. Whatever. Going through diarrhea for all we know.
Yeah, going through literally through slippery slopes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So I think we agree. The Rays are going to be massive favorites against Slippery Slopes.
I do agree with that.
If they're going to pull off the win, I think the Rays have to self-destruct, like literally self-destruct, like
on three plays.
Yeah,
which is a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, I would have to agree. I mean, they're heavy underdogs in this one, but Can they ride all that momentum against they? Come on, they were huge underdogs against Habibis. Zach Stacy throwing in Division 5, gaining all that double experience, throwing in 2 divisions. This is this one where the game's so much slower. I gave them like a 5%. This one, literally going into the game, I gave Slippery Slopes 5% chance.
Right.
They came out on top. I was so surprised by that score. Can they ride that momentum? And
No,
you
I don't
really
think
think this has to be a destruction?
Their offense does not lacks the whip to really go far. If this ends up being high scoring, they don't keep up with these guys. They got to figure it out. Max clock, ask for tech timeouts. Like they have to really offset
Grind it.
the Baby Rays course of how they want to be in this football game. So I think in this situation, this might be. I'm not saying it's gonna be no 5 plays, but this is the game that I think can have no 5 plays.
Right. I mean, in Back to the Future on Wednesday night, that didn't go to 5 plays against Dime Squad. It was 44-0. There was a bit of silliness going on the field, as I mentioned to you guys.
I saw that.
There was guys doing push-ups before in like push-up formation while they were in balance formation on attack. Luckily, Dime Squad didn't take it in a bad way, and then were kind of playing along in the silliness. But I mean, Back to the Future has that really offensive juggernaut of an offense, and if Fiddlers can't keep up, this one could be one without 5 plays as well. But the score being like 44-28 in Manny Bezogias's best attempt to put up as many points as he can. I don't know if he can reach 40 points. That's not necessarily his game. Can he reach 30? Yes.
No.
I think he can.
No.
He can
Fiddlers,
reach 30, but that's his best, right?
No, Fiddlers, no.
But that's it. Them two are heavy underdogs going into this one. Back to the Future, they clearly have flag experience, and Oriola Poirier is just an absolute monster on both sides of the ball, rushing and as a receiver, he's nasty. Had him sub for me in Division 4, not out of place whatsoever.
Yeah,
whatsoever.
If Fiddlers are going to pull it off, Bezogias is key, obviously, but can a guy like Andrew Perillo be a factor? Can he find himself open in these situations here? Can Santucci find himself open? Lombardi, we don't know the situation right now with him.
Right.
But overall, this team will need to get more of a well-versed palette of plays if they're going to have this chance to win. And I think a guy like Kevin Scala, he's got to come up with some big plays on defense.
Yeah.
And if he can't do that, this might be another run. This might be another game where you can see Back to the Future whip them and whip them bad. Like it's, Div 6 is one of those divisions, and not to go off course here, but Div 6 is one of those divisions where
Hit or miss?
yeah, like the underdog has a chance to go, like a legit chance to go to the finals, because Div 6 is sort of that developmental division. No disrespect to them, but like you don't know. Like you might have a hard record, and you end up being 3-7 getting the playoffs, and then you just run the table,
Right.
and you might be easy record 10-0, and okay, this team's, and then they get wrapped, right? So I just think in this situation right now, the Fiddlers, I saw them play a couple times this year. They don't impress me. I'm sorry, but they don't impress me. Good for them for getting to this point here, but now you're playing the big hitters.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Earn the respect, earn the keep now. Can you do it? I don't think they can.
Okay. Well, they'll prove us wrong on
they'll think I'm
Sunday.
Peasy. Hey, Peasy, huh? I'm not Peasy, guys. I'm Okan.
I don't know. You think the LaSalle Warriors midget Maccabees game is going to be close? I think
both. I think both games will be close.
I don't see anyone stopping the LaSalle Warriors midget. Couple scorekeepers yesterday, including Rob Campana. He's like, I got a good look at Emerson Peterkin. That guy can ball. Yeah, he can ball. Joe Morghese as well. He's like, these kids are unstoppable. I'm not sure the Maccabees. I like the guys. They think we hate them here, talking smack, but they're gonna have to slow the game down. They're gonna have to, and you know what? Shimmy Khan's, that's his offense, is the rollout, the dink and dunk, the very very much like a mini Joey Taylor like offense. Yeah, you're gonna need 9 to 10 plays and limit the possessions for LaSalle Warriors midget here, because they're explosive. They're a one play 40-yard touchdown, 40-yard run touchdown, 40-yard pass touchdown kind of team. They're explosive and they can score in 3-4 plays.
So in watching Maccabees play, I now I've seen them play twice. They played in my field way back. I'm trying to think here. When were they in my field? hold on here. I'm just thinking quickly here.
Speak.
Mocon. Speak.
No, it's fine.
I know.
He
okay.
said it's fine. He said it's fine.
Yeah, no, I saw them play. They were on my field.
Mo knows how to do broadcasting.
but-
I don't have to remind him. How to
But
do
did
his
you
job.
find if Arto
Kachikian.
played in the CFL?
No.
Okay, thanks.
As in,
I'm sighing.
not that he didn't play. I didn't go look.
Yeah, he
Of
mailed
course
it in.
you didn't.
Like, he's already on Vegas.
Produce the goddamn show. I gotta be peas in this case. Produce a goddamn
No,
show.
I'm already dealing with peas on the side.
Eagle is mailed it in for the season. Like, he's already in Vegas
done, man.
mode. Like, he's already mailed it in. So it's a two-man show now. He's just pressing buttons.
So
right
you saw Maccabees play?
Yeah, okay, so this is my point. You're right. Like the LaSalle Warrior midget team is loaded with talent. They're loaded with burners. They're loaded with alphas. And for Maccabees to come away with a victory here, if they're going to pull off the win,
Yep.
You're right. They're going to have to slow it down. And they're going to have to play like mucky ball.
Right, yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Like, they got lucky against Pigeons because 13 points won them. They threw it overtime
That's
to
not
win.
normal, yeah.
That's not normal at that point. But remember, this is a Maccabee team. When you think about it right now here, Eggs, and I'm trying to do the quick count here. They had 1, 2, 3,
Yep.
4, 5. Hold on here.
Counting their
5.
roster?
Yeah.
Who are
5.
playoff
no,
eligible?
No. 5. They had 5 games of scoring 15 points or less.
Ooh. Oh, that's telling.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's, and.
Now, to be fair, there was a couple games there where Shimmy Khans wasn't the quarterback. They did bring in a sub to play a few games.
Yeah.
So I saw a couple of those games and look, that's when your regular offense isn't clicking and isn't there.
Mhm.
Your offensive game isn't clicking. So I'll give them that. But in this playoff game that they just played against Pigeons, that's a little scarier and absolutely 0% chance 13 points wins you the game against LaSalle.
You might get you might need 30 points in the first 2 drives to
Yeah.
keep up with LaSalle Warriors, but it's not going to be easy for them at all. But
Yeah.
the best game is probably Wild Hogs X-Men because the Hogs
Yes.
beat them mid March. Now
And like Eagle, I gotta say this. Sorry, Mo, but like Eagle, there was a bit of back and forth talking with X-Men. There was some back and forth talking with Wild Hogs here as well because in that game, very close game, a 1-point victory or
4-point victory.
4-point victory. Still, it was a final drive by Jason Armenti against Wild Hogs, where on that drive converted twice on 4th and long, got sacked on like 3rd down, converted twice on like 4th and 16. Converted twice and converted. I believe the touchdown was on the last play of the game, and he went up to Gautama and Noah and said, "Hey man, you guys are super talented. Like I don't know. That's the way he presented it to me, like in a jovial kind of way. But Noah and Gautama weren't too like they were like okay like." Whatever. So for them to now meet up in the playoffs again, this is going to be a high flying affair and really really interesting battle.
yeah, it should be fascinating. I mean, can the maturity of X-Men, young maturity of the X-Men, mature? Gautama is not going to be on the football field.
He's on the sidelines.
But he's not on the football field to make
Yeah.
plays, right? So can he keep these guys locked in, focused, and in a way, Wild Hogs have to get under their skin. Kind of irritate them a bit. Talk trash to these guys.
Right now,
Saying, hey, isn't that your bedtime now? Isn't that your bath time at 7 o'clock for you guys?
it's 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
It's
5
17
o'clock.
hours.
But I'm just saying that might be one way to really get them off their game.
So in that regular season game, just to wrap up the preview here, in the regular season game, Wild Hogs brought in 2 key players, Aston Thibodeau
Yeah.
from Alpha Dogs
Right.
to sub in.
Hold on,
and,
say that properly, please.
Alpha Dogs. They're not
Alpha
watching.
Dogs.
This is Div 6. They're not watching. They brought in a Division 3 caliber player and brought in a stud of a rusher in his name's escaping me. But a stud rusher who won't be there. So and this is the thing that it's gonna be prevalent in this game. It's not as complicated. You don't pronounce the H. I got the lecture from Gautama. It's Swaminaran.
Hold on. I just want to know,
Yes.
will Eagle be on the sidelines for the Wild Hogs calling defensive plays?
Oh, that would be great. Oh, they should hire you.
Nah, they don't need me. They'll be fine.
Oh. Anyway, so it's a lot of this game is going to be because Noah loves to dance around instead of quickly releasing the ball, which he's good at. I've told him, dude, you excel at it. Release the ball. Put the ball in your playmaker's hands. Instead, sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he's looking to beat the rusher when he doesn't have to. Let your star receivers, which he has so many on this team and this young squad, just give them the rock. Let them make plays. Let them get the first down. Let them do the work. Your job is to get them the ball.
Yeah. I think that's the best of the four. It's the best of the four games. On Sunday.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be very intense.
Yeah. On to Div 3. And we had some upsets from Div 3.
Yes, a lot of upsets.
Yeah, Greendale Human Beings, Stoics, KGP Raw, so-called underdogs in the games against Alpha Dogs and the Growcock and Mongoose. Of the three, Greendale, Stoics, KGP, which is the most surprising win?
While I want to say it's the Stoics against Grokak, doesn't it have to be KGP Raw over Mongoose? Mongoose 8-0-2, I believe, on the season. I'll just double check that, but 8-1-1. Sorry, one loss on the season. With all the experience that they brought to the table, and is it Dylan Garber's first full season as a quarterback? Maybe second season or so, but definitely not the experience that Alex Gauthier has under his belt. And to come away with a 34-33 victory is absolutely astonishing. And I was just super surprised by it. But isn't this the tip? Now that I say that, I'm surprised by it. Isn't that the KGB Raw and KGB franchise like what they're notorious for? Of we're picking against them, but they end up winning a game, a playoff game.
The example,
Not this iteration of KGP.
No, but the KGB franchise, the idea of KGB is you're the underdog. Yeah, well, guess what? We won a playoff
Pretty
game.
much, yeah.
So the example I'll give you is their season fortunes change when they had to make the tough decision to bench Ryan Garber and go with Dylan Garber's quarterback, because Ryan Garber, unfortunately, was not adapting as well, playing at a higher level of football. And it takes time. Like
It's normal. It's a normal QB progression.
They could have said, okay, you know what? We'll stick with him. Yeah. Take our licks. Come back for spring, and then make the jump. In terms of the development.
Yes. Yeah.
But they opted to go with Dylan Garber, who threw up some monster numbers and came up big when it mattered most, right? And Khalil Kerr has been his safety blanket this year, and he came out with a huge play for him or two along that way to beat Mongoose. And I think that's the difference in why they're where they are now in the quarterfinals. About to play Silent Ticklers, which we know easy task for them. But they made that change. It must have been tough, but it was the right change, and it made them much better for it. Now, of the three games, other Greendale Human Beings beating Alpha Dogs was the surprise game, because I had Alpha Dogs going very far in the playoffs. I thought they were the team hot coming into this tournament, and Mike Roy bleeped the bed. Like he literally bleeped the bed and did not have a good game. And then on the 2-point conference,
I don't want to know what he actually did to the bed. Like he bleeped it. I don't know
shit
what
the bed.
Yes, I know.
But
Why are you
Mike
shaking
Roy,
your head?
on the 2-point convert, they took the ball out of his hands on the 2-point convert, put it in Dylan Daou's hands to make the 2-point convert for what would have been the go-ahead points. And Daou rolled to his right. So he's on the left. He rolled to his right on the handoff.
Behind Mike Roy,
took the handoff, and then he went cross-body, so he went right to left on his throw.
Right.
And it's a triple coverage. But he heard a voice, and he was upset because he had three options open to his right, and he went to the backdoor option. So I just thought Greendale Human Beings was more of the surprise win because they didn't play well. I thought Alpha Dogs was the hot team coming in. But as for the other games,
I'm just happy we have to stop saying Alpha Dogs from this point onwards.
Right. Blues Clues, they get a close win over Infantry. You know about the history of those two teams here. Preach, massive win. Mangoose.
Can we talk about that Infantry game for a second?
Sure.
Because they had the ball driving for the win, and they couldn't punch it in 10 plays or something like that?
10 plays.
9-play drive. Yeah, couldn't do it.
That's the game.
Massive.
Yep.
That's massive. And speaking with them last night real quick, Corey Wolowski was targeting the younglings on Blues Clues, which they have those low cap I don't want to say cheat codes, but like lower caliber and lower rated players of Xavier Couture and Fitzgerald Senatus, and they stopped them twice, like on the third and fourth down. Like he literally the guys were playing, both those guys were playing on the same side of the field, and he was clearly targeting them, and both times they shut him down. So kudos to those two.
Yeah. And the other games were washes. I scored the Mangoose free smoke game was over after 5 minutes of play.
Yep.
And Ticklers ran by Blackouts. So we now get to the the quarterfinals here. Blues Clues, Green Deal Human Beings, Silent Ticklers, KGP Raw. That's what she said. Preach, Mangoose against Stoics. Could Stoics be the team to watch out for?
It's going to be interesting. And in a lot of these quarterfinal matchups, there are key players on the defensive side of the football who have played with the opposing quarterback. So in this case, the Mangoose Stoics, James Drysdale has played with Chris Rive, so he knows his playbook. Now, the advantage always is, great, you know my playbook. You don't know what play I'm running on this particular down. But that does gain an advantage for the defensive player when it's tight situations, red zone, 3rd and 4th down. Those types of situations, if James, in this example, was very keen and aware of what Chris Rive's calling in the huddle and got used to certain calls, it's in those situations where it benefits the defense. So that overall, man, the Mangoose has a lot of key some of the newer guys that they brought on the team. I know he was there for the Fall Cup, but Oliver Suri, he's just everywhere on the football field.
Honey Badger.
In the safety, yeah, exactly. And Anthony Drysdale, he came away with a huge playoff game. Two interceptions, one for a pick six, exactly.
So they have far too much arsenal, Mangoose. They really do.
Yeah.
I don't know who you stop on that offense. Toma Katu is the interior sure hands hook on the
sideline hook, man.
On the hook
Jesus Christ, please.
Then if you can't stop him, then you got James Drysdale on the deep post. If you can't stop him, then
Chapu.
you got Chapu, who's the red zone target for them. And Nick Schaefer's been playing great football, and this has been his best football of late. And I think he's been so mature about how he's approached it that if Stokes cannot steal a possession or two, they're not going to win this football game. It's and Stokes, look, they took out Le Gros Coq in great fashion, but now this is the biggest task here. Can Chris Seariv, I beg your pardon, really keep this a clean game? If he can't do that, and Mangoose run the score up early, it's going to be tough for them to cash that game. So you look at that's what she said against Preach.
Yeah.
I'm not buying into that's what she said as much.
Not offensively, but here again, you have Phil Farran playing against Steve Haraprasad. Yeah. Again, a knower of the playbook. Played with him in several seasons now with Steve. So he knows, again, on those key down situations. But I think you're right, Mo. I think what this game ultimately comes down to is, did Leandre Etier gain enough experience in the 11 games in his FPF career here with Mike Piercin and Phil Farran? Can he put up 40 points, the points that Preach are going to be able to put up?
So it's sort of like a polarizing offense here, because when they played Arouche on Wednesday, I think it was tied at 19-19, or I think Arouche
yes, it was,
by
or they were down by, or Arouche was up by one.
And then that's what she said went on a 25-0 run, and they went on a run and didn't look back, right? And they won that game. So which offense is going to show up against Preach? Because if it's the one in the first half playing Preach is going to blow this team out.
Yeah.
And you're not going to. And Steve Harper, you give him an inch, she's going to devour your hand plus your arm and your whole body if you don't score your points.
And he's sorry, Mo. He's the ultimate. And I forget who you mentioned it about. I think Joe Mayer. If Joe Mayer is not the best game manager, it's Stephen Haraprasad right after, right?
For sure.
If not 1A, 1B. So yeah, I absolutely agree with what you're saying, is that if you give an inch to Steve, he's gonna, if he goes up 2 possessions in the game's over.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap. You're not gonna win this game, and that's in the first half.
But again, the X factor is if they are like down 2 possessions, is Phil Farran. He can create those turnovers. You've seen him play the. You think you have him beat on like a wheel, or it's just his length, his extension, his telescopic arms, Peas.
That's my line.
Yes, we know. This is a joke for Peas watching the podcast. His telescopic arms. He can create a turnover or 2 that could get, that's what she said, back in a game.
Yeah, and the thing is with that's what she said is that the defense can make plays, and they got to figure out how to make a play against Haraprasad. and it's not gonna be easy against them. Jean-Marc is a really good DB, but it's not gonna be easy against them. And
Jean-Michel Allard. You have
Yeah.
Jean-Michel Allard. You have
Yeah.
Mike Piercin, who won
Yeah.
Defensive Player of the Year in Division 2. Phil Farah. That's
it's not easy.
it's not easy. I still think Preach can put up 40.
Yeah.
The question will be is whether that's what she said can put up 40.
So ticklers, KHB Raw. This is this by all means is a complete mismatch when it comes to certain positions. Jordan Panetta, I beg your pardon. He is a rifle,
Yeah.
and Dylan Garber is a pistol, a toy gun.
Hmm.
So,
And
it's
not not just the QBs, right? 1-on-1. It's just the size and speed of the ticklers, right?
Right.
The receivers against the DBs.
right, and the analogy I'll use is college basketball. I'll use the analogy of Farley Dickinson, FDU, that beat Purdue, the 16 versus 1 matchup. Okay, same thing, right? Sun Ticklers are like the one, right? And KHB Raw are the underdogs. Can KHB Raw use their speed like FDU used against Purdue to win that game? Can they use their speed, and can they really slow foot Sun Ticklers?
They have to, because even Blackouts yesterday tried to use their speed, and while it was sometimes successful, the plays the plays that the DBs were making on the balls on breaking ball were just it was
Unreal.
crazy. So yeah, like the speed of Khalil Kerr is that's something that maybe they don't have the matchup for.
In the middle.
Yeah.
And that's going to be key. Can the speed of KHB Raw be the difference in why they win this football game? Because, Ticklers will score their points, but if Raw can use their speed and kind of get them on their heels a little bit and force them to play play to their skill set, it puts them in an uncomfortable position here. And I think Dylan Garber's got to be smart. He can't overplay. He can't overthink it, because if he does, it's game over and Ticklers win this game.
And the reason why he would overthink it is because silent ticklers like LaSalle Warriors Midget in Division 6, this is a team that can score in 1 to 2 plays.
Yeah.
And drive the field extremely quick. So, and where he can get in his head or Dylan Garber in his own head, is if he's slowing down and muddying the water on a 10-play drive and doesn't score on it.
Right.
And then, boom, Ticklers put up another 6
Yeah.
right away and then convert for the 2-point convert. And he's like, crap, I have to run my offense, faster, and my guys are getting tired, and then we're tired on defense, and that's where it could maybe spiral out of control. He just needs to make sure that even if the possession is 10 plays, that they punch it in.
Yeah. So Blues Clues, Green Deal Human Beings, right?
Yeah, you talk about this one with Eagle. So Eagle, pay attention with Mo, because I drank so much coffee and water, I have to do the classic piece.
Yeah, no worries. You go do that right now. By the way, if there's any cookies, can you mind giving me some cookies in there, please? Eagle, where are the cookies for?
They were in the kitcheny area. There was a Costco
Perfect.
box
Thank you
you
so
can
much.
probably grab it.
I'm a little bit hungry now.
The date wasn't enough to
No.
sustain you.
No. I can't wait to go home and eat. Okay, so Blues Clues, Green Deal Human Beings. So now here's my question for Green Deal Human Beings. Danny Elwer's got to be better than what he was against Alpha Dogs throwing the football, because there was a lot of in the red zone. They missed so many throws, Eagle. And you put your defensive captain, if you force quarterback to miss those throws, psychologically it weighs on you, because you're saying, man, can I hit that play next time? Can I hit it next time? And they got lucky.
Well, it also depends on how you're missing them too, right? Like
Right.
if you're over leading the receiver and they're just out of arm's length to get to the ball and everything, that's one thing. If you're throwing behind them or into a DB undercutting a route, that's another completely different problem. And Blue Clues has the speed to make you pay for that.
Yeah, and the thing is with Blues Clues that they can snatch footballs out of nowhere. Like it's kind of like
you don't have a jump ball against Blue Clues for sure and everything.
No.
So like those windows are tight and your ball has to be precise.
Yeah, and I think Danny Elwer's got to be smarter. He's got to use Joel DePluff, who set the receptions record this year in Division 3 for the league. I think 93 for the season. He's got to loosen up Blues Clues, and at the same time, with what he has as pass catchers, they got to tighten the screw on that secondary, right? Can you force them to play to your level? Because Eagle, that offense, right? It's a Joy Taylor offense in a Greendale Human Being format. It is patience and not being frustrated by what could happen.
But I think that's the secret to this game, or how GHB wins it, right? It's not about the big play, because Blue's Clues is designed to prevent those types of plays.
Yeah.
It's about meticulously driving the field, having these low-scoring games, right? Super long possessions, 4-yard completions times 20, right? The type of thing. That's what you're looking for out of them. And you're basically forcing Blue's Clues to have to gamble their defense, because effectively that's the only way to beat the Joey Taylor West Coast offense, or whatever you want to call it, right? It's you shoot a gap and you hope you pick the right gap on that play and that the QB didn't notice in time, essentially. It's the only way to kind of defeat it, other than just playing a pure size game and just taking up spots. So that's the secret to this game. It's just Elward needs to be smarter in the decision he makes. You're better off, frankly, like running to the line and taking a 1-yard loss than throwing a ball somewhere that you don't feel comfortable throwing into, honestly.
Yeah, he got lucky. He got lucky against Alpha Dogs. And that's
Alpha Dogs,
and that's going to be key for them playing this team. But again,
do you think AJ Gomes actually would struggle in this game, though, against the GHB defense, though?
He will only struggle by the frustration that he might not be at the right spot at the right time, or he misses it by a fingertip, like a toenail, that type of thing here. And if he gets to it early, he might spook Danny Elward to seeing Ghost out there, and that's why I just think that red zone for Greendale Music we keep. Oh, we got cookies, yeah, all right.
Yeah, and I think the big thing here is if Blue's Clues can put up a lead early on in this game and basically force GHB to have to match them score for score, the one mistake that Elward makes is going to be that much more punishing in terms of the psyche, right? And that means, okay, now they're behind 2 scores. Now GHB has to go faster, which plays into Blue's Clues' advantage because they're better off playing against that type of system. So the quicker they can get GHB to have to go off of their game plan and onto what they want, the more chances they have for this.
How pissed is Rob going to be that he's like, what happened to the cookies? Mom, Dad, where are the cookies at?
1, he's not going to notice that they're gone. 2, he's not watching the show, so even if he did notice they were gone, he wouldn't have known they're us.
We always test them on the show.
And 3, who fucking cares?
No. All right, on to Division 4.
You still have your coffee to eat the cookies with?
I do.
Yeah, that was clutch. I don't have.
You think I don't know how to do this?
I didn't know there was cookies.
You did it 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, you want to 7-Up?
I didn't know they were. I didn't know where they came from.
Anyway.
You think I just made up cookies from thin air?
Yeah. Or maybe you had them. I don't know.
Division 4.
Yes.
Looking at the games from Tuesday in the divisional playoffs that we had a whole bunch. I think we had 8 of them, to be exact.
Which, by the way, is just... Well, Eagle hasn't been on the field because he didn't make playoffs in Div 6, but there's nothing like being at the field and seeing the whole division there, and like the vibe is awesome. Like
I'm gonna go back, might be 10 years at this point, maybe like 8. Before we had the ability to do live streaming or any type of content like Instagram stuff, etc., we were live tweeting playoff games. Like I remember driving to Brossard for some of like the quarterfinal, semifinal hype games, and literally like this person with the ball, this much time left. Oh, great catch by whatever type of thing. Like we literally couldn't upload like images and video files that were actually worth watching, so we would just do that. We would either film it on the spot and record when we got post when we got home. Or we would just tweet like, okay, now we're going to overtime. This guy got the ball first. That was fun. Honestly, that was a lot of fun.
Okay, the biggest upset, Team Ethnic taking out the Reeds in overtime.
Yeah.
Was that the ultimate upset?
Yeah. It yes and no. Yes, because a 9-1 team, number 2 seed, heavy favorite going against, a good gritty Team Ethnic squad. That's an upset right there in and of itself. But the Reed without Dawson Pierre is just a different kind of Reed.
Yeah, they're just like they're nothing. They're discreet.
It's not that they're nothing. I mean, you still got Dante and Santino Sparagna.
Dawson Pierre is an eraser, man.
But he's a human highlight reel. He is the guy. He is unguardable in Division 4. And if you don't have that, then yeah. Offensively, it makes it harder, and Team Ethnic has the guys on defense to not necessarily match up perfectly, but enough to do exactly what the score suggests, is muddy up the waters. They were even up 2 possessions in this game. The Reed forced overtime down by 14 points.
Yeah. So
they made a comeback in themselves. So Team Ethnic almost choked this one away. But ultimately, like I was filming there on live on Instagram, the Team Ethnic with the 2-1 overtime victory. Yeah, absolutely. The upset of Division 4 and get rewarded with Kiss My In-Laws.
Yeah, not the easiest matchup for them to go up against.
Who was the dancing queen of this game?
Gab Poisson.
And he's a great player.
Yeah, he was solid.
No one knows
very,
what Gab
very.
Poisson
He
is.
was
He's-
he was
he's
awesome. He was their difference maker.
Mo
Yeah.
didn't get the reference.
Nope.
Nope.
Because
no.
who sings that song?
ABBA. Oh, there.
Ah,
You have to
go.
walk me through it there. We got
Yes,
it.
in overtime. Yes, yes. Blue Dreamers take out Bissett rather easily. Surprised by that, or are we okay with that?
I'm not super surprised, but it's the fashion. It was a complete blowout. It didn't even get to the 5 plays weren't played. Frédéric Paquet-Perrault, they forced him into throwing his first interception on the season.
Right.
Barzoni, 7 touchdowns. Gropini with 3 or 4 of them. They were just firing on all cylinders, and they couldn't be stopped.
Yeah, I think Blue Dreamers are a fascinating team. They have a lot of playoff experience. And I
Yeah.
think now I feel bad for Diamond Bougie because it's not easy for them. We'll get to that in a moment here, but it's not going to be easy for them. And I think Blue Dreamers knows what it takes to win. A lot of these guys individually on prior teams have had deep playoff runs but have come up short, but now
Right.
they're all together in a band over here that they could perhaps put together a platinum ending here for them to win. But the game that really caught my attention overall was Trapstars beating Hot Sauce Sports. Now, I saw this from afar. And, of course, Hot Sauce Sports, led by our own very peasy Delarizzi, losing by 9. Trapstars were, from what I gathered from those who were there, that told me that they were in control of the game. Didn't really have much of a hiccup and took it to Hot Sauce Sports. I know they were a bit frustrated, PZ, in how it was played out, but Trapstars, were they the better team for this night? Yes, they were.
Yeah, that's a lot of what you're saying is what I heard too. Some questionable calls, maybe on both sides, but from what we were hearing, mostly on one side. But that ultimately, Trapstars were the better team here and fully deserved the victory.
And look, PZ ran more plays and had more INTs, right? That's
Yeah.
going to be key. The INTs, man, 3. You can't throw 3 in the playoff. And I
No,
think
and-
PZ will know that, right?
And he knows that, yeah,
he knows it.
absolutely.
You're
He's
not
the
gonna-
first to
can't throw.
admit. And 2 of them for pick sixes.
Yeah, and like PZ's not running for pick sixes.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Who was showing the most pick sixes? Is it PZ?
Who has? Ooh, I don't.
That's gonna be. I mean, unfortunately, we can't track that. But I would love to. I think PZ's thrown a bunch of pick sixes.
I don't know about playoffs, but yeah, in general.
Like in career, I think he's up there.
I could. It
No,
wouldn't be accurate necessarily because there's the weird exceptions of like you bring in like a backup QB who throws a pick 6, but I could
Yeah.
probably get a fairly good estimate.
Man, he's throwing some pick six. I've score kept some of the games where he's throwing pick sixes.
I mean, I think he's like top 10 for interceptions in a season. So
Yeah. Anyway,
The 30 for
I think
30.
top 5 actually. Yeah.
The 30 for
Yeah.
30 season.
exactly. All right, quarterfinals.
Yep.
We have our final 8 teams in this.
Yep.
All right, Martin the Flag and Bruins. So Martin the Flag got whooped by your team earlier this season. Was it what? Early March was it, or was it late Feb?
Late February, early
Yeah,
March.
it
somewhere
wasn't
there.
close. So now I look at Bruins. We spoke about Bruins a little briefly with Gab Wiseman.
Feisty group.
Yeah. Now, can they win without Gab Wiseman being of an influence in this game here? Like when I
Oh,
say,
that
like-
was worded strangely. Without being an influence.
like,
No,
can he? If he's not an influence in this game, can he win? Can he win this game?
no, he has to be an influence as a rusher.
But if he can't be an influence in this game with his rushing abilities, can they?
Then it's. So whatever. I'll just do it now. I see the game being 32-28. I won't give. I won't tip my hat in which direction. But if you calculate the score, maybe 32-27. But anyways, one team is more capable of scoring 5 TDs, and one team isn't. Their ceiling in this game is more like 4. I'll let you be the judge of who you think
Bruins.
that is. Anyways, he has to be an influence rushing Jérémy Deschamps. That's the way Martinet the Flag keep possessions alive and keep drives alive, sustain drives, long drives that end up in touchdowns instead of turnover on downs, is through his running ability. He can pass the ball. It's not always accurate. It doesn't always have to be when you have guys that can catch on their team. Although in the game of the week against Kiss My In-Laws during the regular season, there were a lot of drops by them. But I think their confidence is rolling, taking it to balls deep, 45-0. Yeah, it's going to be Gab Wiseman as a rusher because while he's great as a snapper, there's so many other weapons on this team that Chris Vero has to his disposition that Gab Wiseman doesn't have to be such an influence on offense as much as on defense.
Yeah, I think Martin Laflag will have to really not force the play, but really stretch the defense of the Bruins. Can they stretch them and open up the middle of the football field?
Okay. Yeah.
Because the Bruins are disciplined in how they run their concepts. Justin Calix, we know him very well. He's a pulverizer. He can, not physically, but in terms of getting turnovers in favor of his team. And can they be aware where he is? Because their geography, where he's located on the football field, will be key. Because you have to kind of avoid him because he covers a lot of ground. He covers a lot of blades of grass on the turf.
Sure.
And if they can open up the middle of the field against Bruins, I think they have a chance to really control the narrative in this football game.
But that middle of the field is covered by Tania Steer.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of real estate being covered.
It definitely is. But
He's quick. He has great hands, and his vertical is what the impact
the
is.
square foot will be very expensive for Martin Laflag if they can't get that in their favor. So Diamond Bougie plays Blue Dreamers. This might be the best game of the four.
I think so. This one's really good. Although Forsten, Schlong, and Trapstars are good, we'll get there in a second. But yeah, Diamond Bougie, Blue Dreamers, especially that Blues Clues connection, where like Fitzgerald Sanatus is playing with Barazoni and those guys. So like, there's a bit of a clash of the blues here coming on.
Yeah, I think what it'll come down to for Blue Dreamers is going to be their defense. Okay, so you look at Raf Morelli, 18 sacks this past season.
Defensive Player of the Year.
The
in
Italian
Division 4.
Stallion, probably the Paisan. You know what? They were asked for the Paisan of the week. I think he's the Paisan of the year for FPF. So we can nominate him as the Paisan of the year. So if Morelli can get to the quarterback play, and we know the quarterback very well in Diamond Bougie, Iggy, we know him very well and how he is this season and what he's done in the last couple of years or last two seasons of FPF.
He's impressed.
Jules Regimbal, if he can get him off his platform and force him to make a bad throw, and I believe, I'm trying to remember in the Fall Cup, I think they played each other in the playoffs or in the knockout round. They played each other at some point in the Fall Cup in Laval.
Perhaps.
And they won, Blue Dreamers. That template of the Blue Dreamers team. They know this team very well.
Maybe in the regular season, but not playoffs.
So can they win with that defense? Can Morelli be the difference maker? Can he be the chief destroyer of Regimbal and make him throw some off-course throws in this matchup?
That would be the key because Jules trusts his arm, and as he should. But when he's throwing off his back foot, which he can still hit really deep, by the way, but if he causes those off-platform throws, they're easier to just be inaccurate, right? Just by nature, not by his nature, but just by standard, mechanics of any quarterback. So, yes, definitely Raf Morelli going against Jules Regimbal and making him throw contested passes to Nick Gropini and the other DBs on Blue Dreamers. That's one key highlight here. The other one is if it goes the other way, that Felix Boutet can blow the top off the roof.
Who covers them, though, on Blue Dreamers?
That's it.
Gropini? I think Gropini because he's got the homework assignment covering him.
Yeah. Most probably, yeah.
I think Anthony Lazar, he's not going to cover him, Anthony Lazar, but I think he's going to have to be the security blanket, the insurance policy for Gropini to kind of, and Lazar is a smart football player. He covers, he's not going to be athletically gifted, but he will get to the point and make a play. So
for sure.
I think Gropini and Lazar are two guys to watch out for on that defense and how they play against this Diamond Bougie team, which I can't wait. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch on Sunday in Lachine. Yeah. The next game on our plate here that we have, as my page loads up and gets to the point here, Kiss My In-Laws, Team Ethnic, I know you're involved.
Again.
This would be the ultimate of all ultimates for Team Ethnic. If Team Ethnic wins this game, they're a team of destiny.
Yeah. Absolutely. 100% agree with that. If they come away victorious, knocking out the Reed, and then Kiss My In-Laws in back-to-back weeks, wow. Chapeau. They are destined to go.
We'll give you the championship t-shirts now, okay? Team Ethnic, okay? No, but Ben Lawler's got to play well.
He has to.
But he has these moments of he just mismatches the clock and the scenarios if they're up, and he's had these moments. But if they're up against you guys, he can't mismanage it though. You know, and I remember in the I think it was winter or whenever it was. I think it was winter season. They were up.
Oh,
with 5
yes.
plays. They
At Hebert.
hit the first down on 4
Oh.
plays. Could call it. They still went for it. They got picked off.
And
I'm
they got
saying-
picked off. Oh
but
my
the
God.
point is that I'm trying to say he can't do that. Like you got to be smart. Like Dave DeAndrade, Al Martin, all these guys. They have
Abdal?
Abdal. They have to be smart. And if they get to a running shoot with you guys, they're not going to keep up with you guys in this matchup.
Mhm.
So that's just my viewpoint. That it's going to be smart football from Team Ethic. If they're not, they're going to lose this game. 4th and Schlong Trap Stars. Now this is a fascinating game here. 4th and Schlong. We know they've had success in the Fall Cup, and now here they are playing a good Trap Star team. They may lack numbers of depth of what they have. They're a 7-man crew, I believe it is.
Mhm.
But you think about who they have: Namer, Giroux, Garber,
Vincent
Rizzolo.
Yeah.
Guys who can make big plays for them. So on the flip side, we got the Wrangler,
Yeah.
Darren Medizian, who
Yeah.
was a big play hitter, man. Like he's like. And he's gonna like this one here, Darren. He's gonna send me a text. I guarantee he's gonna send me a text tomorrow in our thread with him and Johnny Matty Meadows. I love that comparison, bro. I appreciate what you said. He is David Ortiz for this team. He comes up with a big play, big hit. David Ortiz does.
Okay. I mean, their big play hitter is Jordan Lassard.
100%. I know, but this is when you need a clutch hit. That's your dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, him, Carter Souls, the speed of Carter Souls on the team is something that might give fits to Trap Stars.
Yeah.
And just the sheer arm and the strength of the team.
Caparelli.
Really, yeah, it goes through Caparelli, right? It gives the ability to he has the ability to hit any type of ball out there, right? The go route, the comeback, the sling of a 10 in. That ball's coming in there tight. It's and his guys know where the ball's going, where the defense is guessing. So can Trap Stars get a good read of that 4th and Schlong offense in the first half, make the proper adjustments in the second half, and so it'll be a chess match in that sense. Can 4th and Schlong be one step ahead of Trap Stars, who have now really a lot of experience since 2017?
Yeah, I think, Trap Stars, they got to play a clean game. They will have to be smart because the Wranglers is also pass rushing for this 4th and Schlong team. But also, you look at the receiving core for this team. Cooper Young had a great year. No one talks about Cooper Young, but he was
He won Receiver of the Year.
Receiver of the Year, right? But no one
Yeah.
talks about him, though, right? Because he's unassuming.
Yeah.
You look at Cooper Young, you're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Dude
He
makes
has the
plays,
knee
man.
brace on now. It's like,
Yeah. Dude makes plays,
he's
right?
underestimated, yeah.
Dude makes plays.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be key is that you have a guy like him who can make plays, but then, Ryan Garber, who I think is more suited for this division.
Agreed.
He has that rapport, that instincts with these guys, that he'll throw it and they'll be there to catch it.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to worry about it because they know they've operated with each other in that sense, right?
I'm telling you, since 2017, I remember facing them in, it's 2020, sorry, when I was first throwing in FPF in Division 6. I went up against these guys, literally the same Trap Stars name with the same players, and it was clear that they knew each other from past seasons and FPF
Right.
Junior, right? So they came through the junior program. So are they not like the Cinderella story of like no, wait. Cinderella story is the wrong way of but the standard of what an FPF junior team wants to progress into the men's division.
Yeah, they're the blueprint of
That's the better word.
of
Thank
an
you.
FBF team.
Yeah.
Starting from junior ranks to where they are now.
Right. Yep.
All right, on to the Division 5B.
We'll go B first.
Yeah, well, that's how you listed.
All right.
Yes, that's how we
Baba
listed.
B.
We don't have much time.
Baba Booey.
We don't have much left there.
An hour 30 here. We're at.
We're targeting. We fit the target number. Okay. Quickly here. Okay, look. I score kept a lot of some of these games here.
right on Monday night. Yeah.
Monday, yeah. It's such a blur for me sometimes watching these
Yeah.
games.
We watch for people that just don't or like play on one team or two teams. And you've done way more, but I've score kept 100 games this year.
I don't know how many games
And I didn't do a lot of fields. You did a lot more. You probably score kept like 200 games.
No. Let's do the math here. So 5. So on average, I do about
10.
7-9. So multiply by 12 because it was 12 weeks, not
Yeah.
13. So
108.
about 108 games.
Okay,
this
so
year.
we did about the same. Okay.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
did it some junior
Yeah,
games. as
200
well.
games. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so the game that I'm not surprised by, Red Dragons being Team Saxy.
Yeah.
I've been on Red Dragons bandwagon for a long time.
Me too, man.
And OPC's not on the Red Dragons
No,
bandwagon.
he is now. He
He
is
is now. Yeah.
We got him on.
Yeah, got
We
him
pulled
on
him
here.
on.
But Guillaume Belanger is a really good quarterback.
By the
7
way,
touchdowns.
who uses bandwagons anymore? Like this is such an old method of transportation.
Yeah, well, that's
We gotta
easy for
that one's stuck around in the
What's
sports.
the
analogy.
21st century version of a bandwagon?
you.
Is
The
it
bus.
like
The bus.
is it a bus?
Yeah, it's
Park,
the bus
but
now.
that's
The bus driver. They call him bus driver or the bus riders now.
and park the bus. That's a soccer term.
Yeah, the
I don't know,
term.
every time I hear someone say "ride the bus," I think of a drinking game.
Yeah,
Okay.
Charles Barkley uses
Do you
the
not
term.
know? Okay,
Maybe not. I don't know.
Charles
I-
Barkley uses the
I
term.
focus on football when I'm here.
Yeah, Charles Barkley uses the term bus rider. He calls Kevin Durant a bus rider than a bus driver. Okay, so they
Yeah. Red Dragon.
Team Saxy, this were flustered.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get going. They were hype coming in, and they just
Yeah.
got punched in the mouth by Red Dragons.
Yeah.
And Red Dragons just controlled the clock, played really well, and just didn't lose. Right? They were
Yep.
really good in that football game. I think Green Monster, Pocket Rockets. This was a fascinating game. I score kept this one as well. I had to triple check the score line to make sure it was correct, which it was. But this game was phenomenal because the onside rule came into play.
Mm-hmm.
Pocket Rockets were pretty much up the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they were up 2 scores with about less than 2 minutes to go in this football game. So
Mhm.
24-12.
Yeah.
Green Monsters score 24-18. They go for the onside. They hit it.
As you should.
They get the ball back with a minute left plus 5.
Yeah.
They drive. They score, hit the extra point with 2 plays left. And then Pio Tremblay Agilacos throws an INT to end off the game. And I was like, what just happened?
Right. In a 2-minute span.
They
Yeah.
and that is the beauty of onside.
Yeah.
That is the prime example of why
Yes.
we brought this rule in
Yes.
to create the idea that even if you're down by 2 scores with 2 minutes to go,
Still in it.
you're still in it.
Yeah.
And
That, yeah.
it's worth it.
I think so. I think from what and now I've gotten more feedback. I think we did it right. I think we got it right. Fall Cup.
the
with
first iteration was kind of nah.
It was-
He was
it
running
was-
up score.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, the first
was too
iteration
easy.
of the onside kick. If you didn't go for the onside kick at any moment in the game, you wasted an opportunity to get an extra
with basically
possession.
no detriment, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Now it's really
But it's
what
for
it-
this exact moment, right?
exactly. It's last second. I need a life
I need a
support.
Hail Mary, yeah.
I need a life support here.
Lifeline over here.
And Green Monster, the ambulance came and carried them and got the extra possession and you still got to convert. You still got to drive and score, and they did. So
Yeah,
so kudos to them.
it was crazy. It was surreal. Like Pocket Rockets had no idea what
They
hit
were
them.
stunned. Yeah,
They
were
were
stunned.
completely stunned. It was a stunning collapse. Like they were the architects of their downfall in that football game.
Yeah, but I think okay. So having been someone who has experienced the worst end of a game, if you guys remember the Seahawks Packers,
Yeah.
Yes.
this is that moment for Pocket Rockets, right? They're like, what the fuck just happened?
I think it referenced your finals loss.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna reference your
That's fine.
finals loss.
No, that
as
was
well.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Seahawks, Green Bay, the refs.
Yeah, no, just everything,
Which one?
right? It's-
Which Seahawks beat Packer? The referee one or the one in the playoffs?
No, the playoffs one.
Oh, wait,
when
the playoff
when Green
one.
Bay's up, Seahawks
Yeah.
score,
Oh,
onside
onside
kick,
kick.
Oh, yes,
tie it,
yes,
and then
yes.
OT. I'm like,
Yes,
what
yes.
is happening here?
Yeah. So by the way, I told Packers just on that's the Mo Khan. Like Mo Khan should get the game ball because Mo Khan pushed for the onside. So Mo Khan really wanted that
A
football.
lot
game.
of players push for
I
onside
kind
as
of led the cavalry. Here,
You
boys and
led the
girls.
The
charge.
irony of the person who pioneered the onside would have never actually been successful on an onside.
All right, there, Eagle. Stop. Why don't you stop the X-Men on an onside kick there, okay, big boy? All right, quarterfinals.
Yeah.
We got Killer Rays, no pun intended, Penetrators, Red Dragons, Primal, Le Bleu Dry, Green Monster, Vic in the Box. So Killer Rays, no pun intended. I've seen the Rays
Interesting
play. It's a fascinating game here.
Yeah.
I don't know who has like a decided edge in this game.
I think the edge has to go to Killer Rays, but man, no pun intended. They're a gritty group. They stay in it till the very end. So if Killer Rays don't come out with the killer instinct, no pun intended, Haha.
Play on words over there. Yes,
I'm playing with both team names here. But seriously, if they don't put this game away, oh, you give me the boo, oh man. If they don't put this game away early, and they let, no pun intended, hang around, even even if Jacob Souls throws an interception and then Killer Ray score, but they try to go for 2 and don't get it, and just keep, no pun intended, around in this game. That's a team that, with the final possession of the game, if they're down by 4, no pun intended, can score, and Killer Rays could get upset in this one. But if Tyler Bianchi's feeling it and he's just completing one pass after another, leading to a 4-play, 5-play TD drive, just another one after another one, and they just pile on the points, that's where, no pun intended, could see the end of their season.
So this is probably the best roster that Killer Rays have put together, assembled.
It's pretty much the same. There's no
But
added.
they took out some guys from the Fall Cup.
Oh, perhaps.
Yeah,
Right.
I know they took out some guys.
And
Lions no longer there.
added the Jalen Wells, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is, on paper, a really good roster.
Yep.
No pun intended, has athletes
Mm-hmm.
that can match up with this team.
Yep.
In this scenario, Tyler Bianchi is a great quarterback. I'm not saying this is like a do or die for him. It's not a do or die. But this could be a signature moment for him.
Yeah, for
So-
him to make the jump in his QB progression.
Yes, and going from being a boy 10 man in the FPF world of quarterback play.
Right.
And this is like his bar mitzvah. Okay, like he's about to become a man now. And
Right. And I'll let you continue in a sec, but it's kind of his progression for the spring almost, because
Absolutely.
he's going in Division C, if I'm not mistaken. So
which is great.
So continue. yeah.
Amazing. And now you're going up against a bunch of athletes. He's going to get a taste. This is not, like, I'm not saying it's Division C caliber, but
Exactly,
he's
yeah.
going to get a taste of what is that type of athlete he's going to face on
Right.
Saturday in Brossard. So now, how does he play it? Does he play it by trying to be overpowering with his arm, or be smart?
Yeah.
Can he ball place? Can he place the ball in the right spot for
Yeah.
his guys to catch those throws? Because if he can't, the Souls, all those guys on no pun intended, have the radar to really change the game like that on defense.
Yeah, Matthew Cadigan, I'd say, is one name to watch out for no pun intended.
Yeah. So here we go. Another rendezvous. Penetrators, Red Dragons. They are like literally.
Oh,
This is like, I know it's like, it's not like a hated rivalry. but it's a rivalry.
no. Yeah, it is. Especially they played in the last game of the season.
Yeah, and they play in the Fall Cup as well.
And in the Fall Cup.
And the Penetrators have had their number of the Red Dragons.
Yes.
Justin Goodman's a great quarterback. They have fun. They're this, not like, oh, bleep, man. They're cool. We called the Fall Cup final with these guys.
Yes.
They were down 3 scores. They won in overtime, right?
Yeah.
So
They're
my-
right. They're still riding that momentum.
Yeah.
like-
They have a parade on Sunday morning for that victory in the Fall Cup.
But I would make an argument that Guillaume Boulanger has very much improved as a
100%.
quarterback, especially as compared to Goodman, right? Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. Goodman's gotten better, but I think Boulanger has gotten way better.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
curve has gone way faster for
Right.
Boulanger.
And, and I think the Red Dragons might have the better receiving core.
It's not a totally controversial statement, but I know what you mean. Like, especially like we know the Penetrators, we know Nick Fawn, we know now Jared Boydman, recently added in the Fall Cup. These guys are great athletes, and even across the board, right? Josh Ginsburg, their snapper, reliable targets. But Red Dragons, some of the players they've added, notably Timothée Nema Lacasse. This guy's a baller, man.
Yeah.
He's that new 60 rated player for the team, but now without Emile Bolulo, he's taking the reins and taking that number 1 receiver position. But again, like you're saying, they both teams are very similar in terms of their depth.
Yeah.
Charles Beauchemin, Tommy Caetano, him as a snapper as well, very similar to Josh Ginsburg in both physique and in terms of making guys miss. Right, unassuming guys that get more yak yards than what you think they would get. Maybe they're deeper on like the 4th or 5th receiver, though, is maybe where you're getting at.
Yeah.
Either way, Red Dragons in their final game of the season against Penetrators had a chance to win the game, driving the field, and in the red zone, Guillaume Boulanger throws an interception that the Penetrators then take advantage, go down with 5 plays remaining, score, win the game. I think this one, once again, comes down to the final possession of the game, and I think this time Can Boulanger, that's the question, can Boulanger score and punch it in instead of getting
The
picked
gap is closing. The gap is closing with these two teams.
Yeah.
But, from the psychological perspective, can the Red Dragons overcome that penetrator hump?
Yep.
Can they penetrate this team?
Ooh, there you
You
go.
know,
Now
can
you
they-
got me. You got me.
All right. Prima Le Bleu Dry. Underrated game.
Oh, no.
Underrated game.
If it is, I don't know by who.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Primal is now destined. Maybe I'm biased here because they beat me and my what could have been squad there that I joined. But I think Primal are destined to go to the final now. I think Médéric Lezon mentioned to me in the handshake, hey man, he's like, that was a great game. The final was played here tonight at Hébert. It was a hell of a game, and Primal are a really good roster, man. They have so many different ways that they can beat you. They can beat you on the intermediate and with layered concepts. They can beat you with the deep ball. They can force you to creep up and because they're hitting triple slants and hooks at 2. They are a very difficult team to match up against. That Les Bleus Dry, while I like them,
Yeah.
I'm not sure they can go score for score like it was with Primal.
No, Primal's got horsepower, man.
So here's the secret when it comes to how you play teams like this. If they can beat you on all the levels, you get to dictate how you want them to beat you.
Fair.
And therefore, you can control your own destiny.
Yeah.
Right? If you want to play score for score, let's fucking go. Right? Let's have everyone like air it out and let's
Right.
see what happens type of situation.
Right, which
if
is
you
not
want to play a
advan-
slow game,
Yes.
you play your defensive position, you let them drive on you, and you turn it into a slow possession game, extra points essentially. So
Right.
that's how you have to play these types of teams.
This is you with 18 seasons under your belt,
Correct.
if not more.
Yeah.
Les Bleus Dry, not so much, right?
No.
So
That's exactly it, though.
Yeah.
All right, on to Green Monster Vic in the box. Now, the biggest X factor would be David Vlad. He's
yes,
a monster.
he's crazy.
He
right?
came in halfway through the game because he was running late,
Yeah.
and he took over the game. And he created penalties for Green Monster and paid for PIs, right?
right.
If Vic in the box cannot contain this swamp monster of a football player, man, Jazzon might have a field day against Vic in the box.
Does he not just throw the deep balls and the 10 hooks and just throw
This is
jump
jump balls,
It's
but
jump
like-
balls. Like
Like his biceps is the size of like 5 players on an opposing team.
Yeah.
Like, it's
he's you can't guard this guy.
he's a genetic freak.
Yeah, yeah. The only guys really who could guard him are now eliminated in like the what could have been's roster.
Yeah.
You're not winning a jump ball against this guy.
No.
Now, as much the one guy maybe is Max Buehrer, right? He can jump, he can get up there, but he's starting at like a 5-foot disadvantage.
Yeah, he's gonna need like rocket jumpers in his feet, to
Right, in
really
his
get
cleats,
going
yeah.
here. But I think that is gonna be the reason why they can win fighting Jazzons and trying to get this game over Vic in the box. That's my theory.
Vic in the box are gonna have to put up more than 25 points than they did against Bulldogs. It was a 6-point victory when and that's playoffs. That's the tightening of playoffs. This game should have been like a 17-point, 13, 14-point kind of game over Bulldogs.
Yeah,
And that's the tightness of the playoffs, right? Jeff Taille in his first playoff game, great. You got the win. You got to score more than 25. Although against Green Monster, maybe you don't.
yeah,
Maybe 25 gets you enough because Green Monster, you saw them play.
yep,
They just put up 24, but with 2 minutes remaining in the game, they had 12 points.
yep, and they went on a run.
so
They went on a run.
so maybe 25 is enough. So and the last I think they played again. It's going to be that Green Monster defense. Like we were talking in the women's division, defense isn't notoriously the way you win.
Yeah,
That's Green Monster's green meal ticket to winning
for
playoff
sure,
games.
for sure. All right, on to 5A. I know it's a bit wacky because of the whole ice storm. Some games got rescheduled and replayed and all that stuff here, 3 to be exact. I'm not surprised by the wins, who's gone through. I think we saw the favorites go through. I know Backwoods beat Ice Up, but I think every other team pretty much we thought would be
The favorites.
shit.
Yeah, this was the most conservative or just not exciting. Let's
Yeah,
just say
There
kind
was
of
no
playoff
spice.
game.
It was very bland.
Yeah.
It was like bland Indian food for
Salt,
like
salt and
for-
pepper.
Yeah, like
Is there bland Indian food? That's
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
We're
No,
we're
who are you
confused.
talking to?
Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Eagle. How you been? Oh, congratulations.
Now you're having a conversation with yourself.
Hello, little one. How are you? Oh, you're taking a nap, huh? Okay.
Go back to the show.
Yes.
All right, sorry. You can put headsets on your thing. brother.
Family. We needed family time with Eagle here.
Eagle, yeah.
Bring it on to the
Look at
the
Eagle.
audience.
He's a proud uncle over there. Look at him. He's a proud uncle. Look at him. He's softened up. Eh? He's got that
That
rough
twinkle,
exterior.
that
Look at
twinkle
him.
in his eye.
Look at this Eagle, man.
If you put this up, this is gonna be like the ultimate Inception.
Look at that Uncle Eagle, man. Look at that. He got a big smile on his face. Now he's getting back to his gruff ways. Hey, what are you doing, guys?
So yeah, very salt and pepper, very bland
Yeah.
divisional playoff round here. Even Petit Carotte and Backwoods Football Club beat teams that didn't have their starting QBs.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the quarterfinals.
Yeah, so we got Big Fat Bass, the Pete Carotte, West Island Boys, Rico Riders, Process, Red Out Skins, No Friend Zone, Backwoods Football Club. Okay, so we'll start with Big Fat Bats, Petit Carotte.
Yeah.
Unique game. I think it's not going to be easy for Big Fat Bats.
It might be a bit of a trap game, and like trap games shouldn't come up in the playoffs, but I don't know, man. Big Fat Bats didn't look convincing. Obviously, in their last game of the season against Rico Riders, were kind of smacked in the face. They should have beat Tokyo Sandblasters more than by 12 points.
Right.
Now that said, it's a playoff game. You know, there's a bit of nerves. 2-possession win is still pretty good.
Right.
But Leipzig Carotte, man, they've got nothing to lose.
No, they're playing house money at this point.
Exactly. They got in on the literally the last day of the regular season. They beat up on a Ballers team 31-2. They're going in with house money on this one, and there's a chance that with the way Big Fat Bats have been playing, there's a chance Leipzig Carotte come away with a win. I still think they're the underdogs. Big Fat Bats have a lot to prove. They're eyeing the finals. Just they can't take their eye off this game just yet.
No, Rico Riders, West Island Boys, I have my eyes on this game because I think
Yes.
they played each other way back. Yeah, week one
Okay.
machine, and the West Island Boys won that game.
Big.
So
Yeah. So Rico Riders have come a long way
they've
since
come
then.
a long way in 3 months since that game. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, Iggs.
They put up 52 on Menace to Sobriety.
I'm a bit worried about West Island Boys. Zach Stacy did not have a good game against
Habibis, with the Habibis.
well, even with against Clinkers, right?
Uh-huh.
In the first part of the game,
In the first part of the game, he
Ice Storm.
did do well or
no,
did not?
did not. In the Ice Storm game, Ice
Yeah.
Storm before the Ice Storm hit.
Yeah.
It just they lacked the cutting edge. Like they didn't get the ball to Skylar Bailiff as they should have.
Mm-hmm.
They had a lot of fourth downs, which they converted, which is great, fine, but
Yep.
you won't get that. If you're in fourth down multiple times against a Rico Rider team, you're not going to get that conversion rate as high as it should
A
be.
lot tighter coverage. Yeah.
So I think Stacey has to be better than what he performed. And maybe that was a bad game out of the system. And they crap it out and whatever, they move on.
I don't know Habibis game. I don't know how good he was.
Yeah, but
or-
that's different. That's different, though, right?
It
we
is,
can't- we
but-
can't compare the two, though, right?
Right.
Like in this case, for the Rico Riders,
Yeah.
you're right. Iggs, they're growing, and now they get back the team that whooped their ass back in week one.
Yeah.
What team do we see from West Island Boys? Are they kind of faltering a little bit, or can Rico Riders continue with that momentum?
No, I think you get in this one you get the best of both teams, and honestly, the Rico Riders, I caught a bit of that Menace to Sobriety game. Matthew Yanakoulias was throwing darts, and where in the first half of the season he was throwing interceptions,
Right.
he couldn't miss. He was throwing touchdown after touchdown, just shoving the points down the Menace to Sobriety throats. West Island Boys, I feel like they're going to be up for the challenge. They're going to go, it's going to be high scoring. They're going to go score for score. Both teams with like both teams will score 6 touchdowns. So you already got 36-36. This game either comes down to converts or whoever can get that 7th touchdown in the 44 minutes of play and 10 plays.
I think it comes down to sacking the quarterback. Who can get that one sack? That can change the whole game.
One sack, making it a 4th and 15 and 4th and long situation.
Yeah,
Fair.
that's what's going to come down to is sacking the quarterback. Both quarterbacks are good. And I know I'm questioning how Stacey was in the last game, but I think if he can get that out of the system, then he becomes better than what he was.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the key. I think that's going to be the key is the pass rush for both teams. How do you get to the quarterback in this situation right now?
Fair.
The process, Red Knot Skins. I saw the Red Knot Skins play, albeit for a cameo for like 2 minutes on my field. Oh my God, I blanked out his name here. Hold on, I'm just
Matt Kelgin,
No,
who
not
was
Matt
not
Kelgin.
there in the second part of the game.
No, he wasn't. No, he was not.
But you're
there.
thinking of Noah Groper in the process?
No, I'm thinking. Well, Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just losing my train of thought here. This
Yes.
fast is killing me here. The process. That's what I'm meant to go. The process, in fact.
Okay.
So
Yes.
this is a team that impressed me on Monday or Tuesday whenever they played on my thing. Now for Noah Groper, my question for him is he's got to learn how to close out games.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the development of him being a quarterback because they were up
Yeah.
big. I mean, they won comfortably speaking here on Monday against practice squad.
Right, 33-12.
But they just kept them. They were just hanging around. Even though the game was
they were creeping.
yeah, you just take away their soul, Noah Groper.
Yeah.
You got the best here in FPF, the best hair flow, by the way, and take their soul. You have some good players on offense here who I like a lot here. Like you got the Labradi brothers, Ariel and Yan, who are both great red zone targets here. Defense is fun. I think Ariel makes a big difference for them. What he does,
Yes.
he's a racer for them on any mistakes that they have.
Yeah.
But they have to make sure that Groper is not going to keep teams in, especially if it's closer in this game than what it was on Monday.
I think Groper has to be careful with the football, especially when very, very good safeties and defensive backs that can track the ball very well in the deeps. I think of guys like Riley Pinecombe. I think of drawing a blank, and
There's Frankie Scalzo.
Yeah. Mike Petrobon.
Yeah.
Michael Petrobon, very underrated player in terms of his actual FPF rating. So if Noah Groper can just let the receivers do the work, get the ball in their hands, let them make plays, that's going to be their recipe to scoring in this game, because the Red Knotskins defense, I'm telling you, going deep against them is not the solution.
No. And that's why I think Groper's going to be smart and just kind of spread the wealth around with the football. Yeah. No Friend Zone, Backwoods Football Club. You got to take me on this one here because I've not seen both these teams play. I apologize. They were never on my field. And never.
We weren't, actually. It's my team.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So actually, we did. You saw us play Ballers, the green.
How many games I've scorecapped?
Yeah. They were a bit chirpy with us.
Yes, I know.
Yes,
I know.
there you go.
No, okay. Jokes aside here. So, look, Backwoods Football Club, they're in for a beating. I'm not gonna bleep. It's like I don't know where they have the advantage against you guys.
They have to go score for score. They're
not
have
gonna
to.
do that.
They have. Look, they put up 39 against Ice Up, in their last game, but they need to be able to. And look, given what we're saying, look at their last 4 games. They put up 32, 32, 46, and 39. Against Buffalo Wild Wings, Speakeasy, Glory Boys, and Ice Up. Hey, to put up 46 against Glory Boys, that's... Look, it's not easy to put up 46 in a game, in general, against any defense, let alone the Glory Boys defense, who at that point I believe had nothing to play for anymore after losing at 8 o'clock. They played at 10 o'clock, so I know their quarterback left, but still, their defense is still a known commodity in FPF, and to let up 46 is saying that the Backwoods Football Club can score. So
But they're not going to score that against you guys.
Okay.
I'm just being real.
Yeah.
I'm going to call for. They're not going to score that against you guys.
I'm just saying they have to.
They won't.
Okay.
They won't.
But they have. I'm just saying
they won't.
The way they have to stay in the game is go score for score.
They will not do that.
There you go.
All right, on to Division 2.
Div 2.
Yeah, Div 2.
Final division of the night?
We have Div 1 as well.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, this will be quick, though. It's not going to be long here. Okay. Brace 2.0 against Moretti Crime Family. Brace simple. How disciplined will 2.0 be against the Crime Family offense? They have to be smart. They have to be disciplined. They cannot overplay their hand and how they're going to show their defense, because Joy Taylor can really rip you apart.
Yep.
And I think for Brace 2.0, they kind of have to, you know what they have to do? Max clock and keep Joy on the sidelines.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's what they have to do.
And not score quick?
Not score quick. Take their time. Force Crime Family to make a play on you.
So if you go and chew the clock up, would you, it comes out the question comes down to this: would you rather give Moretti Crime Family 4 possessions or 8?
Give them 4, because they can run the clock on your asses too. So you have to run the clock on them. You have to kind of use.
Wouldn't you? 8's too high of a number. Let's go with 4 versus 6. Wouldn't you want to give Moretti 6 drives? because there's more chances that they don't score than if you only gave
you
them
want
4.
you want to max that clock against this team, man. That's the only way you're going to beat them. You know, Brace 2.0, and as Mike Pierce said, you know, we're talking about quickly. He didn't go into any details, but I can see in his face, like, yeah, we're going to have to be really smart and disciplined. We cannot play into their tricks. Like, they have a bag of tricks.
Yeah.
We can't fall for the tricks. They can't. And if Brace 2.0 can really max clock, it really puts more on the onus on that offense from Moretti Crime Family to kind of like, okay, they just shoot up 8 minutes to score a touchdown. Okay, we can do the same thing, but guess what? We might not get the ball back at the end of the first half. It might be only 3 possessions, and we might be down. And the Rays get the ball start the second half here, you know? So, like, they got to really try to get that clock management in their favor, Moretti Crime Family. But the Brace 2.0, I think if they max clock and score, it really squeezes the life out of Moretti Crime Family.
So just quickly, they start with the ball. They start with the choice, so they're gonna obviously start on defense. Braves 2.0 will. Their last game was 56-48.
Yeah,
Both teams had 9 possessions.
that's right.
I think you need a replica of that game if you're Braves 2.0 to win it.
But now you can say, okay, we can score the points, but
Yeah.
let's slow it down here. Let's see if he because
But then you're turning it into a game where you need to make sure you win on converts.
But yeah,
I'm not saying they can't, but that's a little riskier.
But the Braves 2.0 are a team that they could turn it on. Like, you know, they could. It's like driving a car. Like, okay, cool. We have on sport. Let's go to eco, and make it an eco game.
And Braves 2.0 won that game with Will Tracy at quarterback.
Yeah,
and not
exactly.
Jean Mayer.
So whereas with Moretti Crime Family, they're an eco offense.
You're comparing them to a high efficiency vehicle here.
Yeah, they're an eco offense. Whereas the Braves 2.0 are an eco offense, sport offense. They can be a winter offense, whatever you want.
Right.
They have the flexibility. And I think if they slow down, I think it puts more pressure on Moretti Crime Family. Okay, so now we won't get into too much details here. Like, Party Crashers Blue got the forfeit win over Touch 450.
Right.
So we don't know the situation right now if Party Crashers Blue will be playing on Saturday. They have not given confirmation yet. We're still trying to look for it.
We'll clarify that.
Clarify that because, you know, it's important because for Vengeance, we don't want them to waste their time on a Saturday night, right? It's not fair to these guys.
Yeah.
So let's go based on the pretense that they are going to play.
Yeah.
Vengeance, they played Party Crashers Blue, and Vengeance. Sorry, that was in Division 1. I beg your pardon. So Vengeance, I don't know if Party Crashers have the Dreadnoughts to keep up with Vengeance offense.
I mean, the last game they played way back on January 14th was 44-38 for Vengeance.
But remember, the Smidges were playing that game.
Yeah, true. I think the question is, I mean, and I have an answer, but Party Crashers Blue just don't have the defense to stop Vengeance.
No.
So does Vengeance, without the Submergent brothers, have the defense to stop the Party Crashers Blue offense?
Yeah, I think they can not stop them, but contain them.
Okay. And that's all. That's all you need with Kevin Wyatt as your quarterback. You need one stop.
Yeah.
You get a stop. Your chances of winning the game are 92%.
You don't even need the stop, honestly. You just need them to have more possessions.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't.
and they will, right? They'll have the second
More
half
extra
possession.
points.
Yeah.
No, exactly. Just alone with the 2-point converts, that you gain an extra possession with the way Andy Peterkin did there in his final.
Right.
I'm telling you, one stop on defense, and there's 92% chance you won the game.
Right. And I think Kevin Wyeth, the Vengeance are fairly comfortable that they don't have to come up with a stop. You know, that as Eagle made the point.
Yeah.
One more possession, and they score that ball.
Yeah.
All right, running once, Terror Squad, fascinating game. You have Tam Billy Death, Jeff Rosenblatt, 2 different styles of play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm intrigued by the receiving course of both teams. I think it's almost a push with those 2 receiving cores and how wealthy they are and how explosive they can be. It might come down to a drop ball costing a game for one of these teams here.
And who do you think is more likely to drop that ball?
Run it once.
Really? I would have gone with Terror Squad. I mean, I don't think either of them would, but if I had to pick one of the 2, you're going with Run It Once. Are we singling out a player and saying who?
And look, Run It Once beat them by 19 against Terror Squad.
By 19?
Yeah, I score capped that game. I remember that game.
Oh, early on in the season, week 2. Yeah.
Yeah. Who am I going to finger point?
Yeah, if you had to.
Look, James O'Hain had a drop ball against Kangaroos in Division 1 playoff loss.
I'll go if I have to do my guy here dirty, Charles Vettel. Let's go with a key drop where he's already turning upfield and he has the ball in his hands. He's turning upfield and drops it.
Yeah, that's going to be key. And I think like Anto Brisebois is a problem. He will be a problem for Terra Squad,
anyone,
as Padron will be a problem for Renner once.
Yeah.
But I think what it'll come down to, this might be a game of first 1 to 50 wins.
Yeah, I see that. I think not only who's going to stop Brisebois and who's going to stop Pat Jerome, I think they're probably going to go against each other one-on-one DB wide receiver.
Right.
That's going to be a fascinating matchup throughout the whole
for
night.
sure.
Oh, that'd be really fun to watch.
Ursos Medic Blessed. This is going to be a chess match. This is not going to be like an F1 race here. I think they know each other. There's a history, right?
They do. Blessed may be down to 5 players. May.
What's the reasoning here?
They've lost one
Injuries,
guy.
right?
They've lost Isaiah to suspension. Rory Kelly is in Sweden for school, or I don't know. Yeah, I think school. Already there's 2, and then I believe the game was requested to be as late as possible. I think on both sides, even Jean Smedzic requested that. I forget which player. It might be Phil Farah has a funeral that day, or something that takes out a lot of the day. So the 10 o'clock. So we'll see what happens here. But Bless may have Steve Hariprasad there on defense.
Yeah, it's not going to help him.
No,
it's not going to help him. No.
Does that dramatically change?
Yeah, that changes the whole outlook of this game.
There you go.
It's kind of it's like the betting line. You take it off the line.
Yeah.
You can't because you don't know what team is going to show up for Blast. So in hindsight, Ursos Medic, my only concern about them is that they've had these lapses where they just bleep around and then they let teams back in and they lose like these weird games.
Right.
But if they're on, and they're a playoff team with wealth, man. And I'm not going to bet against them now, especially with what Bless is going through with their roster. Attrition that they're going through of power going down. So
And then
I have the most ingenious idea.
what is your
Instead
ingenious idea?
of Harpersad playing defense, he doesn't play defense, and they play 5 because Iggy, what do you do when you have 5 people on defense? What do you run?
No. No.
Because you do all hooks and you drive down the field, but that actually plays into the advantage of keeping the score low.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, fair enough. On to Division 1.
Or I want to see Steve rushing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
oh God.
that would be hilarious.
It might
honestly.
take 4 days to get to the quarterback. All right, Division 1, Kangaroos, Braves, All-Stars, Flagmon Sack. So Kangaroos, Braves. We go back to that Roos game against the Braves for second place. Kangaroos won that game. Mike Pearson had to drop ball in the end zone. Pretty much the difference in why they lost that football game to Kangaroos. Kangaroos should be fully loaded in terms of the roster, who's going to be available for them, as will the Braves. Braves have a bit of chip on the shoulder with how they lost that football game. I think it's a pick 'em. I just don't know who has the edge right now. I think both are emotionally charged. They have a history of how they played each other the last few years in the seasons that we've had. I don't know who has the edge coming to this game.
Can I time out this conversation for a second? Kangaroos got away with a game in the quarterfinals, right?
They did.
1
yes,
point.
Yes.
They could easily not be here. And I don't know if that's a good thing going into Braves for a confidence boost where like they managed to get the win out, or if it's what are we doing? Our defense can't stop anyone.
But Braves were locked in against KGB Plus. They slaughtered KGB Plus. Like Joe
That's what
Mayer
I mean. Yeah.
like that's my point though. Like Joe Mayer looks he
transformed.
Yeah, he just became like a monster, and it's just like he's on a mission right now, just to kind of get to the finals here and take out Kangaroos. I think the objective is to beat the Kangaroos, but that's been the prime objective because they felt salty losing that game to the Roos in the regular season. So now we fast forward to this game here. Roos got away by the skin of their teeth against
Double Straddle.
Straddle, and the Braves are rolling in. There was a bye week in between. They didn't play last week. I don't know who has the edge. I just don't know.
I feel, yes, Joe Mayer is kind of like morphed into the ultimate Power Ranger, but man, without Serge Pilon, that's a big, big, big loss for Braves.
But
it didn't matter.
They adapted though.
It didn't matter.
They didn't care, man. He's like, all right, we lost Pilon. Yes, we got other guys to step up.
Garepi, was he playing?
No, that's what I'm saying though, right?
That's crazy though. But you're saying it's a push 'em and you don't know who has the edge. I gotta give the slight edge to Kangaroos despite the close game against Double Straddle. I just like what they've pieced together. The roster's solid, and I look, gonna be a close game.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a 1 point game. if not
yeah.
an overtime game.
Yeah.
I like what the Kangaroos have done.
I think the Kangaroos win this game because of extra point conversion. Dan Lazaro is locked in against Double Shadow. You think about it. I think he had like 6-7 points off point extra points. Converts. They would have lost if they missed on 2 of them, right?
Yeah.
So I think this is a moment of glory for Lazaro to kind of get himself to a winter final because he's won the spring season.
Yeah.
But he hasn't gone to that fraternity of I've won a Division 1 winter season.
If your prediction is true and this goes into overtime, is Lazaro singing Mamma Mia in a happy way or a sad way?
ABBA.
ABBA. At least you got this reference.
The history of those 2 teams, it's there's a history, man. There's a history.
This is gonna get clipped.
Yeah.
The ABBA segments.
Yeah, the ABBA segment. There's a history of these 2 teams, and I think there's more to be gained for Lazaro and the Roos to win this football game. Over
Absolutely. There's so much more on the line for the Kangaroos, whereas Braves, they've done it, right?
Yeah.
They've come out on top, entered in 2017, ran the table Division 2, have now won championships in Division 1. Is it Dan Lazaro's time?
This is it, man.
Yeah.
Like Ginsley likes to keep the X factor.
Yeah.
Sam Mashub, has been a factor, but he could be a factor now, right?
Yeah.
There's guys that could step up for them. All right,
Yeah.
All Stars, Flagmore Sack.
Offense.
Yeah, first one to 60 wins.
Yeah.
It's
Offense.
It's what it is. Like both quarterbacks are cerebral. Both quarterbacks are great. I'm a little bit less confident in Flagmore Sack's defense. I think All Stars have a better defense than them.
Yeah.
So can Alex Nadeau-Pius pitch a perfect game? No,
He can.
Not saying, when I say perfect game, not throwing an INT.
Yeah. I know. Like go 8 touchdowns, no interceptions. He can, but is it? I don't know. Pat Jerome, Quay Johnson, are those 2 like I can see them coming away with an interception, and that being the difference.
Theo Ojea.
Theo Ojea. That, like, my God, the names, the talent. I see All Stars hitting 60 first.
I'm just trying to process
piece
my
it
thought.
together.
Yeah, because this fast has been killing me. So
you had your cookies, Mo. No.
I did, I know, but I'm just, I'm at a point I need to eat real food now. But I think if Kevin Wyeth gets into Kevin Wyeth has like a statement drive. If he has a statement drive in the first 2 drives of his, it's like he's locked in, right? And I think he will be locked.
How much more of a statement do you want than 2 touchdowns and 2 extra point converts?
Yeah, but that's how he does it. He just sets
But
the tone.
that will happen.
Right, but can Flagmore Sack come up with a turnover? I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can come up with a four and out. I don't think they will.
I don't think so.
They can score points, but I think it might come down to that one possession that the Wyeth attack will have in the second half.
What's more likely, a 4 and out? Well, not 4 and out, but just turnover on downs or an interception?
Interception, because Wyeth has thrown INTs in playoff games. So
I was gonna go with more likely the 4 and out than
INT is more likely than that.
Yeah, the 4 and out for Kevin Wyeth to miss 4 times.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
Yeah.
All right, it is now time for
games.
Oh my God.
Oh,
he's stressing.
Me? Why am I stressing?
You're stressing. You're like, oh my God, I have to put my phone down now.
No, I actually gotta do something now. So
fine. You have to work.
Fine.
Man. You have to work now.
All right, we're gonna start with not the 35+ division, but Co-ed 1. We have the Northern Braves versus the Funny Club.
Braves.
It'll be close, but Northern Braves.
And then Fast Not Furious, Free Smoke.
Fast Not Furious.
Yeah, I'll go FNF as well. Going to the final.
Co-ed 2, Bench Warmers, Badgers.
Badgers. I'm gonna go Badgers.
I'm going Badgers too, man. I'm on that Badgers bandwagon or the bus.
C-Rib bandwagon.
The bandwagon bus.
And that sounds very...
Yes, I know.
Kiss My End Zone, the IG team.
Kiss My End Zone.
I can't pick it.
Kiss My End Zone.
All right, Co-ed 3, Half and Half, Michael Scott's Tots.
Bustan.
Let's go Bustan.
And Sneaky Snakes, Canicule.
Sneaky Snakes.
I'll go Canicule. You know what? Give me some Canicule for the final.
All right. No games in Women's 1 and Women's 2 this week. They're going straight to the finals. So we're going to go on to Division 6, X-Men, Wild Hogs.
X-Men, close one.
Wild Hogs in overtime.
Ooh. LaSalle Warriors, Midget.
Warriors.
Maccabees.
Warriors.
Back to the Future, Fiddlers.
This might be a major
Back to the
blowout.
future.
Baby Rays, Slippery Slopes.
Rays.
Yeah, I love the Cinderella story of Slippery Slopes, but it's come to an end. Give me those sweet baby Rays.
And we will not be able to pick the semifinal matchups. Maybe we do that in an article or a quick clip or something.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right, Division 3, Blues Clues, Greendale Human Beings.
Blues Clues.
Yeah, Blues Clues.
Thailand Ticklers, KGP Rock.
Ticklers.
Yeah, give me the Ticklers.
That's what she said, preach.
That's what she said. You go preach.
Yeah, give me Preach, Steve Hariprasad in this one.
And Mangoose, the Stoics.
Mangoose.
A lot of Cinderella stories might come to an end.
And this is one of them.
This is one of them. Mangoose.
All right, semifinal, same thing. Division 4, Martin Le Flag, Bruins.
I'm going to go Bruins.
I'm going Bruins as well.
Diamond Bougie, Blue Dreamers.
Dreamers.
Oh, this one's tough. Give me Diamond Bougie by 1 point.
Kiss My In-Laws, Team Ethnic.
In-laws.
I can't pick it.
Fourth and Schlong, Trap Stars.
Fourth and Schlong.
You know what? No, give me Trap Stars. Trap
Alright.
Stars in this one.
Same story for semifinals. Check our feed. Division 5B, Killer Rays, no punt intended.
Rays.
No pun intended. Keeps it close, but Killer Rays come out victorious.
The Penetrators, Red Dragons.
Penetrators, but this is going to be close.
Yeah, another close one. Penetrators just have something over Red Dragons. The Pens a third time in a row.
Primal, Les Bleu Dragons.
Primal.
Green Monster, Vic in a Box.
Green Monster. By Jazz House.
I'll go Vic in a box, but one possession game.
All right, same thing for semifinals. We're going to go Division 5A, Big Fat Bats, Les Petites Carottes.
Big Fat Bats.
Big Fat Bats, but they struggle in it, but come out victorious.
All right, West Island Boys, Rico Riders.
Riders.
Wib, they put it all together. West Island Boys.
The Process, Red Knotskins.
Red Hot Skins.
Red Knotskins, but close.
No Friend Zone, Backwoods Football
No
Club.
friend zone.
Can't pick it.
All right, Division 2, Braves 2.0, Moretti Crime Family.
It's Brace 2.0.
2.0, but man, it's close.
Vengeance, Party Crashers Blue.
Vengeance.
Run It Once, Terror Squad.
Run it once.
Yeah, I'm going Run It Once as well.
And Urgence Magic Blessed.
UM.
Yeah,
All right, Division 1, Kangaroos, Braves.
The Ruse.
I'm going Kangaroos.
Yeah.
And All-Stars, Flag Moal Sac.
All Stars.
All Stars for Kangaroos versus All Star Fun.
All right.
Check it.
Hey! My God, he played in the CFL.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. He actually didn't play. He
he
was
got
drafted
drafted?
in the 7th round by the Ottawa Red Blacks in 2016, but never actually played according to the statistical
Did
website.
he win a Grey Cup? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
He didn't play.
But he got
But
a
he
Grey
was on
Cup
the
ring.
roster?
Yeah, roster. He was on PR. Anyway, remember, spring registration is open, so sign up. You have 2 weeks. When is the close date, Eagle?
It'll be end of April-ish. Usually it's like the 20, like right after the finals, a few days after
So,
that.
okay.
And then
Believe
we're
it's
going to start doing the schedule like usual and
Okay.
everything. So.
And reminder, as we get close now to the road show, teams that do make it to the finals, please be alert for emails from the league of what to expect right for the road show. 'Cause it's a whole event. We make this an event for you guys, for the broadcast, replays, and everything involved. So we want this to be as great for you as we hope it is for us as neutrals calling the games on the weekend of August or April 28th, or April 22nd. That is.
Jeez, Mo, you're
No,
all over the place.
I know.
If you're interested though in calling some of the games and you feel like you're an FPF junkie, hey, feel free to reach out to us, to Pease especially. We're always looking for play-by-play and analyst talent. So if you're interested, give us a shout.
Magic words, please.
I don't do that.
Good night, Peas. Welcome to the road show.
Welcome to the Roadshow, Pease.
Put the place up. the place up. Yeah, we know what